All sports, all the time.
There's heroes and there's legends. Heroes get remembered. Legends never die.
This is the Spoken Podcast.
Hold your ears, folks. It's showtime.
I'm your host, Lance Twidwell.
Man, that kid, he can ball, man. He can ball.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
Patrick freaking Mahomes, baby!
Let's talk some sports, because that's what we're here to do.
You are tuned in to The Spoken.
This is the Spoken Podcast. I'm your host, Lance Twidwell, here inside the Starcade Media Studios with my guy, Trevor Twidwell.
What's good, everybody?
Episode 300 is here.
We have arrived.
We're here. Freaking 100 episodes, guys. I said that horribly, but that's the point, is that we have done things our own way for 300 consecutive episodes. And I hope we sound good, because I'm going to sound like an absolute idiot if our quality after 300 episodes is still crap. And we've had our doozies. Trevor and I have had our times throughout the years where we just cannot get it right. We had to start over shows. We had to completely throw shows away. The point is, we've had one hell of a journey. We've had some of the greatest guests, some of the greatest experiences, just absolute fun all the way through doing this show for 300 episodes. And I don't want to reflect on it too much, because we have a hell of a show to get to. And first of all, let me say, we want to thank you so much for being with us, taking the time to be with us in this time, as we have so much to get to today. And whether you're live streaming podcasts or your YouTube, we want to thank you so much for doing that, because this always means the world to us, no matter when you're watching, no matter where you're watching, how you're watching, or how you're listening. We just want to simply say thank you for making this what it is, because this has been the funnest thing I've done in my life. And I don't say that lightly, because Trevor and I, man, we like to be fun people, man. If we were something growing, we'd be fun guy. I mean, we are fun people. Yes, that nice. Is a horrible joke. If you go away, I understand, but hopefully you stick with us. And if you're going to stick with us, you might as well
fly on 300, man.
You might as well go ahead and hang out with us on YouTube, because that's where we're trying to grow this biatch. We've been doing really well on Facebook, Twitter, and all the other places. We've been killing it there. But we are trying to grow our presence at YouTube, and we've made that very obvious to you guys over the last forever. So if you want to go to YouTube real quick, hit subscribe, notify, share, all that stuff. We very much appreciate all that. That helps us big time. But get in the comments. We want that, because we have a dedicated portion of the show every single week called Speak It, where it is your opportunity, your time, your platform to basically take the show over. You guys ask the questions. We try to answer them as candidly as possible, and sometimes we even throw some of your guys' takes in the midst of it, but we throw your takes out there throughout the entire show. Trevor will throw those on the screen no matter what time of the show is, because we want you guys to feel like you're a part of the show. You know why? Because you are a part of the show. You guys are what makes this show so great. We just simply handle the equipment, and you guys make the magic. So thank you so much, guys, for being a part of it. Go ahead and do that today if you want to, if you've not already done it. But in the meantime, Trev, how you feeling, man? I know you've been geeked out, ready for the show. I'm sure you've had a pretty decent, busy week. But man, we're here, and I'm glad to be here. I'm glad we made it to the big 300, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my back-to-back 3-day weekend ahead of me for this weekend, so I'm hoping to start it off right with a nice midday victory, Chiefs victory. Be nice, man. But yeah, no, this week hasn't been too bad. The weather's been it's been a little cold. The last couple of days have been pretty warm. Warmish in the 40s, which we consider warm in the Midwest. But yeah, man, I'm ready to go, bro. I'm hyped for this game. I'm ready to see what the Chiefs come out, after damn near 20 days off, basically, for a lot of these guys, 20 plus days, and see how these guys come out and how these guys are ready to go, man. So I'm excited for it.
As am I, man. And shout out to John Harrison for the congratulations. We appreciate you, bro. You've been a massive help to us as well. Statistically, you've called my shit out when I've been wrong on things that I thought I was so right about. And
John brings that dad energy.
He brings it, bro. Yeah, he brries that dad energy. We appreciate that dad energy, man. We actually we accept mansplaining around here. That's actually something we like, because it doesn't exist, but we still think it could. But we appreciate all the chat, everybody that's in there already. K-Town was in here before the show even started. Shout out to you, bro, or sis, whichever one you are. Chiefer 65 TPT, you're in here as well. Everybody join in, man. Let's get this thing rolling, man. Trevor, without further ado, man, it is time for Lance Rants.
Can I scream?
too heated on some things before we start talking about these divisional games, because we got a lot to get to, guys. Like I said, we got to get to speak it. We got to get to the divisional picks. We're not just going to get to the Chiefs Texans. We're going to give you guys a full slate of picks of what we think is going to happen this weekend. Really excited for that. Before I get to any of that, before I even get to my actual rant of the day, I do want to send out a brief congratulations to the Mahomes family, to Patrick and Brittany, for having their third child, Miss Golden Ray. We have the picture right there if you want to post, Trevor. I don't know if you saw this on Instagram or not. This is the picture that we got, her little cute feet right there, man. Just want to put that out there. We don't usually get too involved in people's personal affairs. You know, we try to keep things on the football field, on the basketball court, in the octagon, wherever we're talking. But you know what, man? This is a big thing. Our city rallied around it. That was cool because I saw that the downtown area, even I think like some of the plaza area, had certain buildings that were colored bronze, golden, and sterling, like silver. You know, like it was really cool they did that.
Yeah.
It shows you just how much this Mahomes family means to the city as a whole, means to all of us. And when they, you know, there's an addition to the family, we want to recognize that. I got to briefly talk to Pat Sr. this week and congratulate him on being a grandpa again. He's super excited. I can tell that things are going really well for him, and I'm proud of Pat just for wanting to put that on the record as well, doing some great things in his life. But yeah, man, I just wanted to put that out there. Congratulations to Patrick, Brittany, but more than anything, congratulations to Chiefs Kingdom, because they got the baby born before the playoffs started for the Chiefs, and that's a very big thing. So I just want to say thank you, Brittany, for delivering the baby before the games got here, because I could not imagine the lack of sleep Patrick would have if his wife was having another baby right in the midst of the playoff run. That would be horrific. So thank you guys for everything going so smoothly. Thanks to all the doctors, the practitioners, everybody that's been taking care of this whole thing. You guys are the best.
Well, that's why Pat promised her the bye week so they can. It's literally what he said. He said, "It's time to go get this one seed. So you're gonna have this week off."
What a badass, man.
I mean,
yeah. So you guys have known the I don't know if you've seen the shtick or not, but as you can tell, I've been wearing this damn robe for like a month now. And it's been cleaned, I think, a couple times. And the reason I'm wearing this thing and I'm putting on the glasses and I've been telling Trevor this, I wanted to start doing this because I wanted to show people just how relaxed I've been about the Chiefs, even though this has been another season of stressfulness. We know that the Chiefs put us through a lot every single week. You know, I know people say these are first world problems. Yeah, well, first world problems are still problems, Trevor, last I checked. And they have their own.
Bitch.
Yeah, we can still bitch about first world problems. I want my cappuccino macafrino the way I want it. Is that even, I don't know if it's a drink. But the point is, guys, damn it, I like watching football that's enjoyable. And the Chiefs don't play a lot of enjoyable football these days. But they keep winning. And that's what's relaxed me and kind of just, I feel like there's just been like this coming of age for me, myself personally. I don't want to speak for everybody, but as a fan, as a follower, as a consumer of this team and the sport, I've just come to that realization that this is the approach I need to take now with the Chiefs. This is just how things are for right now. Maybe not forever. Maybe they'll go back to that high-octane offense and things of that nature. I'm expecting that probably in the next year or two. But right now, we just need to relax and enjoy what's happening and just talk about it and be real about it and just have, you know, casual conversation about it. So I took that approach on this show, and I've been chilling, having fun, and I mean it, though. And another thing, Trevor, that I'm going to be very relaxed about when it comes to this team, and it comes to one player in particular, because I know this is going to be a discussion for the foreseeable future, probably for the next 3 or 4 months, is Travis Kelce. I tweeted out, and we don't have the tweet, so don't worry about looking for it, but I put this tweet out there this week because it just came to me, and it just dawned on me, because I know we've been having these discussions here and there, you know, but it's gonna really start to heat up no matter what happens during this postseason run. But this is what I truly believe. I don't believe that Travis Kelce is retiring this offseason. I truly do not. Even if the Chiefs three-peat. Because I know everybody's looking at this as this is the perfect way to go out. And you know what? You're right. Mm-hmm. That is the perfect, if there's ever been a perfect like movie line or movie way of going out, it's that way. You know, you've played this great career. You're the greatest of all time. Or as Hallmark movie said it, he has the most receiving yards of the ever, or however they said it. It was hilarious. The line is so fucking hilarious. Oh, the movie they did of the I haven't watched it. Hilarious. Yeah, go watch it. I'm butchering it, but they butchered it also. So in fairness, we're even. You have everything. The man has everything. He's living the life. You know, I used to say if there was one athlete's life I could say it could be Derek Jeter. Without question. I mean, by God.
Yeah.
But Travis Kelce's climbing that damn ladder. Let's be real here for a second, folks. The man's got the world in his palm. He can do no wrong. He's got the most famous woman in the world as his GF. Like, he's doing things in this world. Oh, yeah, by the way, he's still a badass on the football field, on his way to potentially getting his 4th overall ring and third in a row. That's about as good of a life as it gets. And he gets his family to witness it all. Isn't that the best? Like, when you get your family to witness you accomplishing great things, there's nothing better than that. Nothing. He has his parents, he's got his brother, he's got everybody that he loves still around.
Yeah, he won up to his older brother, man.
I mean,
nothing better
Jesus.
than that.
Yeah, you gotta beat your. I don't know what that's like because I'm the oldest and I'm always the best at everything. But but he beat his older brother to the Super Bowl. That's bragging rights for the rest of their lives. No matter what Jason says, he can't ever one up that. I mean, the dude's living the life. So you would think, okay, what else is there to play for? Everything. Because what matters to Travis Kelce the most is the camaraderie, is the being a kid part of the game. That still burns inside of this man. He's been quoted multiple times just this year alone, despite all the surgeries we know about, despite all the ailments and the shit he's had to deal with physically. He still talks about how every time he's on that field, he feels like a kid. As long as that is in structure and in place for Travis Kelce, I think he still plays football. So much so that I'm not even sure next season's his last year. Now, I would put a heavy wager that is going to be his final season because technically he's no longer on contract.
Right.
Maybe the Chiefs want to do, maybe they do want to move off, of a 35, 36-year-old tight end. Or maybe they're like, Travis, you're here until you're not here. We'll give you another year. We'll give you a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I do know is that the fire still burns in this man to play and compete at a high level for championships. And as long as he is able to play for championships, I think Travis wants to keep playing football. Because if this was like the final run, like the last dance, if you will, let's say this is like their version of that, where Patrick Mahomes is 36, 37 years old, Andy Reid's like mid 70s, we know this is the end of this era, right? Yeah. Travis Kelce would walk away 100%. But they're right in the midst of this dynasty. Like, yes, this is 3 in a row, but Trevor, let's say everything just goes to plan and, what we're expecting to happen happens. Would it be wild to you to think that the Chiefs are probably one of the top 2 teams in odds to win the Super Bowl next year? Right? Like, you would agree, right? Based on the way this team is built,
yeah.
Patrick Mahomes being 29 years old, with all the cap structures going up, Brett Veach and Andy Reid still in place, the Chiefs are going to be a top 3 at worst team in the betting odds to win the Super Bowl next year. So what that means is that they're still going to have a chance to four-peat. That means that Travis Kelce has all the incentive in the world to play again. Because what if think about the possibilities here, Trevor. I know it sounds outlandish, but what if the Chiefs four-peated? I know they got to take care of this first, and I know that's the coach speak and the players speak. We're worried about the Texans right now. Yeah, but we're fans.
Yeah.
We get to talk about this stuff. What if
he thinks about it too?
What if the Chiefs were to be a four-peat? That is a real possibility.
Or just the possibility of that, and just like the fact that he has another year under his contract on his contract that I believe he fulfills. So I don't believe that he win or lose the Super Bowl this year, if we get there, that he retires. So I've already been on that train as well. I think the guy loves the game too much.
Right.
I mean, Jason Kelce could have retired several years before he did. These guys love the game. This is what their lives have been built on, and there's been, the reports about Taylor Swift fully supporting Travis to do what he wants to do, whether that's, you don't like statistically, this was a down year for him. Was a little over 700 yards, very, very low on the touchdowns.
He was at 100 receptions though.
I get it. No,
that wild?
That's what I'm saying. Do you not think that he can push for 90 receptions for another 2 years for 700, 800 yards and, 3, 4, 5, 6 touchdowns a year? And on top of that, I think the most important thing on my end is, let alone what he does in the field and the fact that what he can do as far as defense is preparing for him is being in the locker room.
Yeah,
the guys like Noah Gray that consistently, Rasheed Rice saying that been learning everything from Travis Kelce.
What about good brother Clyde
teaching these guys?
Good brother Clyde talked about on the pivot about how Travis Kelce literally saved his life.
Right. So locker room guys like that, and just when you go back and watch the mic'd up stuff. The 13-second game. That was Kelce orchestrated that. Patrick Mahomes saying, "Do it, Kelce. Do it, Kelce." Why was he telling Kelce to do it? Do what? What he told Pat about when he said, "Hey, 10, when he set up that play for Tyreek Hill to go up the seam and get that yardage for the field goal, put him in field goal position. Kelce orchestrated that. He's a mad genius. You know what I mean? So like this guy is more than just, he didn't have to make those plays in that game. He orchestrated things though verbally. So having guys like that around in the locker room, just leadership wise, I think he could become a coach at some point. Him and Jason Kelce obviously have so much going on off the field as well. Yeah. So there's things that wait for him in the mist for him and his next ventures. But as of right now, he's still a young man in reality.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? So like the guy, he's our age. You know what I mean? He's in our age group. So like I don't feel old. I feel very young. And I mean, I can imagine with this guy, with this bubbly personality, he probably feels like he's 16 inside.
Trevor and I were doing backflips for the show. Like we were killing it over here, guys. We're doing all kinds of cool stuff.
That's false. But I mean, I do believe that this guy has several years still ahead of him, man. And I think he's obviously aging. His body is aging, and this game is a brutal game. But he's a very smart player. Yeah. He doesn't take a lot of brutal hits. Right. He knows when to get down. He doesn't depend on Yak anymore. He's not that guy anymore, but he's still a guy.
He's like a possessions receiver now.
Defenses still have to worry about him consistently. In the locker room, he may be the most important guy in this locker room.
That's very fair to say. That's very fair to say.
So think about that. Like that's a guy you want to keep around. And his relationship with Andy Reid as well is massive. I mean, we've seen everyone was freaking out when he bumped into him last year on our run last year, and yelling at. That's the relationship. That's the kind of guy you want in that locker room.
And to bring Jason Kelce back into the conversation, we saw him retire after they got to the Super Bowl the year after, right?
Right.
But okay, think about the context of that. Jason Kelce came back for another year, and we didn't hear anything about him wanting to retire after that year. But they got beat in the wild card round that season. I think it dawned on him like this is probably the end of my run. But let's say the Eagles would have got to the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl again. I don't think Jason Kelce retires. I think he comes back again.
Right.
Because like we were right there.
That's a kid, dude. That's some fairy dust.
Exactly,
that'll add
dude.
Years to your life, bro.
It adds that dopamine hit of playoff success. And speaking of playoff success, let's put up the numbers real quick. This is something else that Jason Kelce gets or Travis Kelce gets to play for, guys. If you look right here, he is already the #1 player of all time in postseason history in receptions. Already.
I mean, he could be #1 here.
Receptions, receiving yards. I think he's like 290 or 300 yards away from Jerry Rice. And then receiving touchdowns, he's 3 behind Jerry Rice. Now,
that's madness.
Realistically, Travis can get that this postseason. 3 games, he can get those numbers.
He could.
Yeah. But he might not.
Yeah.
And here's the thing.
The only thing he wants them.
Bro, let's be real. Come on, man. You don't fight. You don't play Pop Warner, high school, college, and then the pros for 10 plus years.
You can leapfrog Jerry freaking Rice.
And you of all players of all these years, dude, the thousands of skill position players that have played throughout the years, you're the one that gets to own all the records. Look at LeBron James. I'm bringing LeBron in for a second. LeBron already owns most of the records, but you don't think that it motivates LeBron to say, you know what? I'm going to own even more records, and then I'm going to push them further out for anybody else to try to get. That's called competition. If I was able, Trevor, to move the sticks and move the milestones further away from anybody else touching them, I'm doing it. LeBron's already got 40,000 plus score points. You don't think he wants to get to 45?
Of course he does.
You know what I'm saying? To make sure that no one ever gets it.
Yeah, that name will be at the top of the list for the foreseeable future.
If Travis Kelce's like, you know what? Fuck it. I want 200 plus receptions. I want 2,500 yards. I want 25 touchdowns. No one's touching that.
Nobody.
Not for probably in our lifetime.
And then the fact that you look at the position next to his name and it's a TE, that's so wild, bro. That's gonna be so crazy.
He's the GOAT, man.
It's not gonna be any of these top. It's not Randy Moss, not Jerry Rice, no longer. It's none of these guys.
And what did I always bring up, Trevor, about
the
great? If you look at all the greatest tight ends of all time, like at least in the modern era, they all played in their late 30s. All of them, every single one that you can name. At least Shannon Sharp played to 35. That's fine. But that's mid-30s, okay? Tony Gonzalez was 38 years old. Antonio Gates was 39 years old. Jason Witten, 39 years old. Like, some of the best who ever have done it played almost till 40. So, what's to say that Travis is like, you know what? Taylor and I have this great thing going. She's doing her thing. I'm doing my thing. We find a way to make it work. Because otherwise, he's going to be probably bored when she's still out there kicking ass in her musical career. Because she's got 30, 40 more years of that. So he's like, well, what am I going to do? I'll make movies and stuff, but I'm 35 years old. I can do that forever. I can make movies in 5 years, 6 years from now. Why don't I keep playing football? Patrick's in the prime of his career. That's my best friend. We have the greatest connection of all time. Andy Reid's going nowhere for at least another 4 or 5 years.
Right.
Why don't I stick around for a few more years?
Like I said, even as like a more of a mentor type
Yes.
guy, obviously a player as well, but and there's even that situation like what Gronkowski did when he left. He basically took off like, the first 8-9 weeks of the season and kind of came back in that late in that year and played really well with the Buccaneers toward down that stretch and went on that playoff.
He was
run.
rested.
Right. So something like that could also happen too, but I don't even see him taking time. Maybe it's for like a movie or something. He's taking time off and he's still staying in shape and comes back later in the year or something like that. That could happen, but I see Kelce, bro, as just one of those guys that just sticks around in the lock. He's an X's and O's guy. He's a guy that just loves the culture of the game and just wants to be in the locker room. He's always been the rah guy. He's even tamed it down a little bit because he was over the top rah for the first few seasons of his career. But he's become that old head in the locker room that just has the knowledge of the game, has that quarterback about him too. He's a ex-converted quarterback, so he has that knowledge. And then the relationship between him and Pat and Coach Reid, that trio, man, alone is just something special that's been here and has created something that we never thought would ever come true in this city. And yeah, man, he's a lifer, bro. So I could see him definitely playing another 2-3 years, in my personal opinion.
Shout out to Dustin Orton joining the chat. Clear the air with ease back in it. Let's fucking go, Lance and Trev. Go Chiefs. Shout out, brother. Bumpa BB's in. Ruben DeCruz is in. I was waiting for him. Baca 87 joining in as well. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for joining in the chat. You guys keep cooking. We'll get you guys up on the screen as much as possible, especially when you guys have questions for Speak It. Another topic we need to address, Trevor, is a very current and relevant one that has to do with this postseason run.
Real quick, we got boy Stephen Williams in here. Let's fucking go, boys.
What up, baby?
All
chiefed, yeah, dude. It's all chiefed up. What's up, bud? Good to see you, man. Good. I'm glad to see things are going good for you guys. You guys have had a great last few episodes. I've been watching them. You guys have been killing it.
Oh, yeah.
Keep up the great work, fellas. You guys know we love you, man. We always support you guys, and we always appreciate the support from you as well. Keep it going, fellas. Shout out to Mike and Steve over there at All Chiefed Up. You guys if you're not following them, I don't know what the hell y'all doing, man. That's one of the best shows out there for sure. They're amazing dudes. There's no more speculation now, Trevor, as to what's going on at the left tackle position for the Chiefs. If you can see right there on the screen, if we can put that up, Jeremy Fowler reported yesterday. Chiefs plan to start Joe Thuney at left tackle Saturday versus Texans per source. DJ Humphries is healthy, but Thuney, a Pro Bowl guard, flourished in tackle relief while Humphries was hurt, so Chiefs prepared to ride the hot hand.
Hot. That hand is hot.
Okay. I'm gonna do my best here to accept the fact that first and foremost, you guys already know the obvious here. Andy Reid, Andy Heck, know best. They do. But Andy Reid and Andy Heck also put Wanyas Morass at left tackle for the better part of the last year. And how did that work out? They also drafted Kingsley Suamataia, who I love very much, and he hasn't worked out so far. What I'm basically saying is, mistakes can be made by those that we trust the most. Very true, right?
Sure.
Okay. I think this is a mistake. And it's not that I don't think that Joe Thuney can do a good job. I think he can, and I think he will. But again, when it comes down to what the original question is, how do we execute with the best possible offensive line for this team to flourish? This is not the best version. And I will die on that hill. Yes, Joe Thuney is the hot hand. But see, there needs to be context on even that. Joe Thuney, see, everybody pretends as if Joe Thuney's been playing left tackle for half the season, Trevor. Joe Thuney's played left tackle for 3 games. Do you know how many games that DJ Humphries played for the Chiefs at left tackle? 2. So DJ Humphries only played 1 fewer game at left tackle this season than Joe Thuney has. And we're sitting here pretending as if Joe Thuney has just been this lockdown left tackle all season long, and we have no worries at all. And this is not even a bash session on Joe Thuney, because I love the man. I think he might be, outside of Patrick Mahomes, the single most valuable player on this team because of his versatility, leadership, availability, you name it. The man is amazing. I love Joe Thuney. And I think he will do fine. But there will come a price with moving him out of his position. And that price, I believe, could be Mike Caliendo, who's been a fine backup. But we are facing, Trevor, the Chiefs are facing one of the best, if not the best pass rush in the NFL this week, who is now pissed off and motivated to try to prove that last time they faced wasn't what it really is.
Last time they faced, Joe Thuney was playing left tackle.
Yes.
And had 1 whole sack.
Yes, exactly. You don't think that, who do you think knows that the best? The Texans. And the Texans are going to come in here as motivated as they've ever been all season to prove that game was BS. Now, I'm not sitting here saying this is not going to work. I believe it can. I believe ultimately it will. But with that also comes the run game that I'm worried about, Trevor, because you and I have both agreed on the show over and over again. This offense is at its best when they have a balanced attack. Quick screens, run plays, getting Pacheco and Kareem Hunt going, right?
Sure.
That is when it's at its best. The run game has gone down since they made that change.
Yeah, I mean, your interior O-line is taking a hit when you take him out of the middle, for sure.
So all I'm trying to do
line.
is warn you guys with what could be coming with this type of move. I heard Taylor, what's his name, from The Athletic, Nate Taylor.
Nate Taylor, yep.
I heard him talk about this yesterday on the radio, and I actually agree with him on this, believe it or not. Nate Taylor said he believes that somebody within the organization got to Andy Reid on this, because this doesn't smell of an Andy Reid move. Andy Reid usually goes with what he knows best, right? He believes guys play at their positions when they're available. That's usually, and what's the rule? You practice, you play, right? DJ Humphries is healthy. He's been practicing. You go out there and get him.
They paid him.
They paid him. Thank you. Yeah. He should play. This sounds like a Patrick Mahomes move. This sounds like something that Patrick Mahomes wants, and I'm not against it.
Listen, you trust the guy that's out there the most for the feel of the game. I get both sides.
Yes, I'm just trying to paint the picture on the other side of this, because what I don't want everyone to believe is this move's just going to bring blossoms and honey and everything's just going to be perfect. Guys, you are moving a player out of position. That is a real thing. And you're not just moving him out of position. You're moving out of position and putting him in the most important position on the offensive line. That is something you have to respect and pay attention to. Does it probably give Patrick Mahomes a smidgen more of a second? Probably. But is that the only problem the Chiefs have offensively? No. Because the run game has diminished because of this. And I want to see the run game go upwards, not downwards, or stay flat. It's got to be more than just, well, Patrick had a half second more. It isn't just going to come down to whether Patrick Mahomes got a half second more, because what do we know, Trevor, about Patrick Mahomes in the postseason? He doesn't stay in the pocket. He runs. This man creates with his feet. So it's not just about saving Patrick Mahomes in the pocket. It's about making sure the best plays happen when they're available. And I want to make sure that's going to be the case here. Because what did we talk about when it came to this whole move, Trevor? I was of the belief they're going to put DJ Humphries at left tackle. If it doesn't work, then you do what? You do this. Yeah. This is your safety valve, right? I don't like that they're going to the safety valve to start. Because what do you do, Trevor, if Joe Thuney has a bad game? What happens? Yeah, you move Humphrey in?
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Do you think
if that happens? But
do you think that's as effective as going the other way?
My personal opinion, I don't think it matters.
Okay.
I think we're going to dominate this game one way or another. And I think if they try to blitz us, which we were doing against them last time, we got the ball out so quickly, and the addition of Hollywood Brown, they had no answer for that. We were getting the ball out so fast. I think Pat's going to dominate this game no matter who is playing that position, in my personal opinion. But when this comes, once we win this game, in my opinion, and we're facing, Bills or the Ravens, that's when things get a little different, because we know those teams know us that much more. Right? So they're going to know how to attack certain guys and weaknesses and expose certain things, and they just have more knowledge of our team and how we operate. But in this matchup, I just think the Texans are so unmatched in this one, my personal opinion. It's not going to really matter. But to the context of this argument and this conversation, I think you're right. I think Andy Reid's decision would be to go with the guy they paid, the guy that they went out and brought out to play that position, who is truly that position player. We haven't to the situation though with Humphries. We haven't seen enough of him though. That's my person. I know you said 2 games to 3 games. One of those games was with all of our backups, right? So I mean that doesn't really count in my opinion. So we've seen Humphries out there and he's looked okay. He hasn't looked great. Thuney's looked better in my opinion, but then again, I like him a whole lot more in the interior. I like him a whole lot more opening up those gaps so Pacheco could fucking run for a 60-yard touchdown. That's what I want to see, because the Texans can be ran on if you dominate them in the trenches. So I agree, man. I see both sides to this, but in my opinion, I think Pat's going to go out there, and if he sees the blitz is coming on that side and they're going to overload Thuney because he's an undersized left guard at that position, and that's what he's playing today, they can try to really attack that and prove that point. But to what you said about, don't you think that the Texans are going to want to prove a point that was an anomalous performance by Thuney dominating them in that game a few weeks ago when we played them? You can also use that same argument flip side on the Chiefs and Thuney saying, "Oh, I want to prove that wasn't a fluke.
Right.
I want to dominate your ass again.
Yeah.
Bring it." Because I think Thuney's that dude.
Yeah.
So Thuney could also be that. So if Thuney goes out there and dominates today, there's not really much else you could say. Because Pat, if this was Pat's decision, Pat was correct.
I want to get your thoughts on something real quick because I also thought about this week, and I don't know if anybody else said it, so I don't mean to steal anybody else's thunder or take credit for it. This is just something I thought about because, and if we can put this comment up here from our guy James T. Kirk, this actually reminded me of it. He goes, "Hello, gents. Respectfully, I disagree, Lance. If you really go back and look at the best Chiefs games offensively, they looked their best with Thuney at tackle. See, I think there is truth in that, but I also think that people are missing something else that coincidentally happened at the same time. Hollywood Brown came back.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
that is where I think we need to start realizing, guys, there's some correlation with that.
I think the combination of the two because Pat was getting the ball out far faster.
And let's be real, Trevor. Let's be real. Thuney is, I think, if we're being honest here, we had our druthers.
Yeah.
We would rather have Joe Thuney at left tackle than Wani Morass.
Of course.
Okay, he's terrible.
Yeah.
So, that aside, obviously Thuney helped steer that in the right direction. What I'm saying, though, guys, and why I stand so firm on this is I think that there is a large percentage of the Chiefs' offense going this way, the trajectory going up, because they finally got a receiver that can stretch the field who has veteran experience. Yeah. He's finally here at the same exact time Thuney took over left tackle.
And there's another guy that's fast as hell out there.
Yes.
Because it's not a coincidence that him and Xavier Worthy are both trending upward at the same time because you got two guys out there that are fast as hell.
And then Travis Kelce's wide open the back of an end zone. Like, when does that happen all year?
Too, man.
Jesus Christ, dude. Like, when was the last time you saw Travis Kelce just walking down the field wide open? It doesn't happen as much anymore because they have other field stretchers.
Well, and that's why I think, in my opinion, it doesn't matter because we tend to run through the air most times too. But I do agree with you. I like a balanced attack because we were playing our best football, well, towards the end of the season, but we were dominating games as far as like owning the time of possession and all that when Kareem Hunt was really, really rolling. Yeah. And that was fun to watch. Yeah. Kareem really helped change the offense here. Yeah. So I agree with you. I want to get Kareem Hunt and especially Pacheco going because Pacheco, since he's been back from the injury, hasn't looked too good, but hasn't had the best opportunity because his left guard has been playing left tackle, right? So dominating in the running game and really starting the game and keeping Stroud off the field. You know, he's a good quarterback. You know, if you keep good quarterbacks on the sidelines, if you could dominate the time of possession, that's a great strategy and way to win games. So I agree. I think it does take away from the running game, but I think we could dominate the game, you know, within whichever situation we decide to go with, and this being Thuney at left tackle.
I know we usually hold all of our questions for speaking, but because we're on this topic directly right now, I do want to address this question directly right now. HD Chiefs fan, do you think that Thuney may have had a conversation with Big Red and told him that he wanted to keep playing left tackle?
This is speculation.
HD, yeah, this is all speculation, but I'm going to say this right now. I don't think there's any chance that's the case. Because I think that Joe Thuney likes playing left guard because that's where he's at naturally. Yeah. I think he's confident he can play left tackle, but I guarantee you he would rather play left guard than play left tackle.
He's a Hall of Fame left guard.
I mean, Jesus, yeah, come on.
Not a left tackle.
Here's the other thing. The point I want to bring up, Trevor, we can move on, okay? Because I don't want to just keep harping on this. Because at the end of the day, like I said,
shit.
Right. They are doing what they're doing. I'm just trying to give you guys my thoughts on my reaction to it.
Right.
The last 3 years, Trevor, have the Chiefs had a good left tackle?
No.
Okay. Have they won 2 Super Bowls in a row?
They have.
Okay. Why is that?
Because of the greatness of Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Chris Jones.
They were able to overcome that also because of why? They had a middle of an offensive line that's as good as anybody's. Okay? So why can't that be the consistent pace of what they're doing right now? Because I would argue that DJ Humphries is better than anything the Chiefs have had at the tackle in the last 2-3 years. Okay? From what we know of him, from what we've seen, on reputation,
on what his resume is, yes.
On reputation,
we yet to really see it as a Chief, but yes.
But you would have faith that if DJ Humphries gets in rhythm, he's going to be a good left tackle.
Yeah.
Like you would entertain the thought.
I have faith in that, yeah.
You would entertain the thought of bringing him back next year, right?
At 100%.
The battle for that left tackle position.
Yeah, I think
not be like the full-fledged. He's starting no matter what. Like being like you either draft a guy or bring Kingsley for one more chance, and then have them battle it out and see who wins the position. What I'm saying is, I think there is that chance because DJ Humphries is good. And he's not old yet. He's 30 years old. He's still good.
He's still coming back from an injury. That's why it gave me pause with him in this season. But yes,
that's why that's the point I'm trying to make here, guys. Is that through these years, the Chiefs had multiple opportunities to say, you know what, guys, we're making this announcement right now. Starting this season, Joe Thuney is our starting left tackle. They didn't do that. Why? Yeah. Because he's not a left tackle. That's why I keep trying to tell you guys. He is a left guard playing out of position right now. Yes, we can trust Andy Reid and these guys, but the Chiefs are doing this in their beliefs, out of necessity, when in my opinion, it is not a necessity. They literally have a left tackle they just signed. So let him play and let your left guard keep cooking in the middle of the offensive line, like you said, so Pacheco can start dominating games again. Because what has Pacheco done in the postseason? He has dominated games, and it has made a world of difference. When Patrick Mahomes went down with that fucking ankle injury, who took over?
But to that
Pacheco.
point, but to that point, though, I can kind of use what you just said against you, though, at the same time, because Pacheco's dominated with bad left tackle play.
That's what I'm literally saying.
But no, But your point is because you want to get the running game, you want to put Thuney back in the middle. But he's dominated with obviously Thuney being in the middle, but with bad left tackle play. So if you up the left tackle play, he could probably still dominate.
Yeah, but you know as well as I do that Pacheco's a guy that runs right up the middle of the gut. A lot of times, darts through the A and B gaps.
Use, Pancake Poppy over there on the right side as well.
Yeah,
dominate that side of the ball too.
I'm just saying though,
I see both sides, bro.
Goat, man.
But my personal opinion, I think Patrick Mahomes is going to dominate one way or the other in this game. But when this comes to the Bills and the whoever we face in the next round, once we get there. That's a much more serious conversation because we've already put it on film that Thuney could dominate.
Yeah,
the Texans.
Yeah,
with that incredible, arguably best pass rush in the game. But the Texans don't know us as well as certain other teams we've seen in the playoffs several times do.
Right.
I just think the Texans are outmatched one way or the other, no matter who's playing left tackle. But yeah, I agree though. I do like it your way. I think that makes more sense, especially this game. This seems like a game you could kind of, play around with a little bit and
get DJ warmed up.
What DJ looks like. Yeah. And not and then if safety blanket situation, break glass, case of emergency situation, put Thuney back in the tackle.
And that's for the record. Guys, if DJ Humphrey, let's say they started him this week and he sucked, I'm like, well, get him out of the game. Yeah. Like, I'm not that guy that's like, no, keep playing him. No, get him out. Like, I'm good with that because I remember when they first started playing Wanya Morris at left tackle, I was like, well, they don't have anything else there right now. And then we quickly saw, okay, this dude's ass cheeks. Well, get him out of the fucking game. No, they just kept playing it Wanya Morris. I don't know why they kept doing it, but I digress. Trevor made a point, though, that it helps us in our segue. The Chiefs will be playing a team next week, in our opinion, that knows them a lot better than the Texans. But we got, we're getting ahead of ourselves because we got to get to these divisional round picks, Trevor. I want to start kind of out of order, if we will. I'm going to keep the Chiefs game to the very end because I know that's what people are waiting on. So we were going to make you wait. That's what's going to happen right here. You can't do anything about it. This is the one part of the show I can control. So suck it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with tonight's game. Lions hosting the Commanders. So this is, I think there is I know obviously the Ravens and the Bills game is taking up the top flight of all the games right now. Like everyone's consumed with that. I think this could low-key be the best game of the weekend. I really think this could be the best game of the weekend because both of these teams are so exciting. The gambling aspect to them all.
Lions have been in entertaining games in the postseason since they've been kind of becoming who they are. They've been fun in the postseason.
It's electric, and Jaden Daniels. What do we even? I mean, I'm going to talk about him for a second, but I mean, the kid is just electric, dude.
I don't
He's
think I've ever seen
unbelievable.
a rookie so poised.
Never. Let's just get out of the way. We have never seen it.
He's different, man.
We'll just get that out of the way, okay? Spoiler alert: Jaden Daniels is probably the best rookie we've ever seen.
Yeah, it's crazy too. Coming off of last year, we just saw this CJ Stroud, who had the better statistical year.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, maybe because if you add in Jaden's rushing. It's insane too because he was up there with Josh and Lamar.
Yeah, I got to take on Jaden Daniels in just a second.
I want to hear your thoughts. I'm falling in love with the kid, man. He's fun to watch.
So let's get right to the matchup of this, Trevor, because I think, like I said, the matchup's gonna be so fun, dude. So the Lions obviously have the 6th ranked rushing attack. The Commanders' defense has the 30th ranked rushing defense.
And they got Montgomery back too.
Yeah. Washington allowed an average of 137.5 yards on the ground per game this season. Only the Saints with 141.4, and Carolina with 179.8 allowed more.
Yeah,
over 50% of the runs against the Commanders' defense this year went for 4+ yards. They allowed the 5th most 10+ yards, 64 plays, and 5th most 20+ yard rushes with 14. Detroit averaged 146.4 rushing yards per game and will look to establish that early and often to open up their entire playbook, win the time of possession, and keep Daniels and the Commanders' offense on the sidelines.
Yep.
Having said that, there's also the gambling aspect we've talked about. This is going to be the most important part, in my opinion, of this game. Detroit's 33 fourth down attempts were the 4th most in the NFL this season. I thought for sure they had the most. They didn't. Meanwhile, Washington had the highest 4th down percentage in the NFL this year.
They just displayed that last week against the Bucs.
Yes, they had converted 20 of the 23 times they went for it on the fourth down, 87%. Washington, again, you just mentioned it, and the wild card round against the Buccaneers went 3 for 5 on fourth down.
One of them was a touchdown.
Jesus, dude. and Dan Quinn didn't hesitate in the fourth down when he went up for it on 4th and 2, like you said, from the Tampa 20-yard line on the Commanders' opening drive. With both sides likely viewing touchdowns at a premium in this matchup, I'm being serious here when I say there may not be a kick in this game. We may not see a punt or a field goal attempt, literally.
Yeah.
We could see some key fourth quarter moments. The team that prevails at a higher clip will likely have the edge tonight. And this is where I have to talk about Jayden Daniels. Because, Trevor, I think he's already a top 10 quarterback in the league.
I mean, has he surpassed Herbert already?
Yes.
I mean, Herbert's proven to be a choke artist at this point, man. I know we can recap that, but
Jayden Daniels, you just said it at the top of this. He is the most poised rookie quarterback. It's not even close.
He's the first rookie quarterback to win up his first playoff game since Russ in 2012, 2013.
Dude,
yeah.
I truly believe, dude, he is the best, most special rookie quarterback we have ever seen.
And he's absolutely unlocked McLaurin, too.
Yeah,
McLaurin's
my God.
Dying for a guy to get in the ball.
McLaurin would be a Hall of Famer if he had Jayden Daniels 5 years ago.
So good this year, bro. Yeah.
Dude.
And that's really all he's got. Diami Brown's old Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
That's what he's
yeah, what's his name? Crowder? James
old
Crowder.
Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like, it's wild.
Dude, I truly believe that Jayden Daniels is the type of quarterback that can go in here and win this game. I think.
And they're playing loose with nothing to lose.
Yes.
Their house money.
And at worst,
he's a rookie.
At worst, I think he keeps it at the brink, where it's like the very last play of the game because Jayden Daniels.
Yeah.
But, dude, I also believe that this Lions rush attack is going to be a lot to overcome. And you said Montgomery's back. Gibbs has been unbelievable this season. I think he led the league in touchdowns. Yeah. I don't want to be the guy, dude. I really don't want to be this guy that doubts Jayden Daniels for a second straight week because I picked the Bucs last week. But I have to because logic tells me that in every scenario the Lions win this one. I think Jayden Daniels is going to be a Super Bowl winner. I think he's going to be a guy that him and Patrick Mahomes will probably face off a couple
Especially
times.
A good coach like Quinn, man.
And it could be this year. Like Jayden Daniels can win this game.
Quinn's
they can go to the fucking NFC
Super
Championship. Yes.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to doubt him, dude. I feel so wrong. Like it feels like you're seeing like a steaming engine coming at you. Like that's gonna fall off the train tracks when you know you're about to get hit. Like I just feel like Jayden Daniels is inevitable.
Yeah.
But I'm going with logic in this one, dude. I think the Lions at home, rested, healthier again with their double-head sword in the backfield. Yeah. They got Sonic and Knuckles in the backfield.
That O-line for the Lions, too. Goff can pick them apart, too.
Yeah, man.
The Lions are just the superior team.
And I'll give the Commanders credit because they played better defense last week. They made Baker Mayfield look lost sometimes.
Yeah.
But the Lions are a different animal, dude. I'm going to pick the Lions. I'm going to say right now there are no field goals in this game. High-scoring game. I got the Lions winning 35-28.
See, I like that. I see this a little more differently. I think points are almost always scored in Lions games, whether if it's just the Lions doing all the scoring, because we've seen them drop 50+ several times. But this just feels like a game because low-key the Lions defense has been getting healthier.
Yeah,
they've been getting guys
back,
and they've been on a roll.
Yeah,
they've been playing really, really good defense the last couple of weeks. They've got several guys back from injury. Perfect timing for them. They're getting healthy, similar to how the Chiefs are getting healthier. The perfect timing. So I think this Lions defense is the story of this game.
Okay.
I think Lions. I know Jayden is incredible, and Jaden's going to make plays, and they're going to score at least a couple touchdowns probably. But I think there's going to be some plays made. They're going to throw some dirty shit towards Jayden to kind of shake him up a little bit and kind of confuse him a little bit because he's going to be susceptible to that. He's not he's not your average rookie because he's 24 already.
Yeah.
Going on 25, him and Bo Nix, go figure they were the two best rookie quarterbacks in the league this year, and they're both, the older, seased rookies.
It's almost like that's a good idea.
I mean, it's worked out for both those teams. Denver's got a guy, I think. But yeah, I mean, I think this game is going to be tough for Jayden, though. I think he's going to run around and try to make plays and do that, but I think there's going to be a lot of bracketing on McLaurin, making Diami Brown and Zach Ertz and these other guys trying to make plays.
Yeah.
Washington's going to want to try to establish the run because that's their identity. Yeah. They are a run-first offense, and they got good running backs. Austin Eckler back there, who's a good pass-catching back as well.
Brian Robinson,
who's a beast, in my opinion. Didn't look too good against the Bucs, but that's a good front for the Bucs as well. But I think this is a good front from the defense of the Lions as well. They're a tough team to run on, and that secondary is getting healthier, and their mid to second level guys are coming back. So I think this defense for the Detroit Lions is going to really show up in a big way. And going to Detroit's a tough place. It's a tough place to play right now. The
Lions did, baby.
That's a crowd. That's a fan base that's been dying for this.
Yeah,
moment. This is a team that is Super Bowl.
We know what that's like.
Yeah, Super Bowl or bust aspirations for this Detroit team, and I think they're a freight train that's just not getting stopped in the NFC at this point, as of right now in this game.
Yeah.
I think this is a big learning lesson for Jaden to learn from, but I think they're going to get waxed, in my opinion.
Okay, so you're picking a
I
blowout.
I think the Lions cover the spread.
Oh, it was 9.5?
8.5, 9.5. Yeah, 9.5.
All right,
I think they lose by double digits.
You're thinking like 31-20?
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they lose by 10, 11 points or so.
Yeah, because I don't see a way that the Lions don't score over 30 in this game.
Yeah,
I think they put it on them.
Yeah, they're just outmatched. The Lions have so many playmakers on every position.
Yep.
They're just such a good team.
Like it wouldn't even shock me if like Amon-Ra has like 4 catches for like 48 yards and no touchdown. They still put up 30.
And if we're being honest, bro, the Buccaneers should have won last week.
Yes.
They should have won.
Yes, I agree.
You know what I mean? So Washington kind of was gifted that win. Baker fucked up.
Baker really choked, man.
Yeah, so I think the Bucs had that game, and they choked it away, in my opinion. That was rough because I lost money on that. I would have made some good money if they would have
Those types of wins, though, can elevate a team, man.
100%. You know? And Jade was never shook in that game. He never hesitates.
No.
He just goes for the kill, man.
He was the best quarterback on the field.
Those kind of guys are dangerous, but I just think they're outmatched here.
I want to go to the Eagles hosting the Rams now. See, this is a game. See, I love that we have a lot of matchups in these postseasons. This postseason that they've played in previous, regular season games, because everyone just assumes because that happened, therefore it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
We have the Chiefs and Texans. Is that going to be the same kind of game, or is it going to be way different? Bills Ravens. Is it going to be the same thing? And then we have this game. Is it going to be the same way that happened earlier this year when Saquon Barkley had an historic game against this this Rams defense when they went up 255 yards and I think 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
When they went in Week 12, it was the Saquon Barkley show, man. The star running back shredded the Rams, 250 yards, 302 total yards, including
insane.
2 electrifying long touchdowns. But since then, the Rams defense has stiffened, allowing only an average of 100 rushing yards per game since. That's one of the best in the league. But Barkley isn't your average back, and stopping him will be paramount if the Rams hope to leave Philadelphia with the win. For the Eagles, the key will be reestablishing their passing game. While Jalen Hurts' MVP caliber season 2 years ago is a distant memory, he is still capable of delivering when it matters most. Philadelphia's inability to eclipse 210 passing yards in 12 of their 18 games this season is a glaring weakness. If Hurts and the Eagles receivers can find the rhythm, it could spell trouble for Los Angeles. And this is where I want to stop, Trevor, because I know the fixation is going to be on the run game because both teams, to their credit, can run the shit out of the ball.
Yep.
Obviously, Saquon's been the best running back in the league, maybe the best player in the league this year.
And Kyron's the most underrated back in the league.
Exactly. Like, the Rams do
And
not
Blake
get any
Corum
credit for what
has
they
been
do.
getting
Blake Corum's been awesome.
Yeah.
Rookie running back out of Michigan. The offensive line with Havenstein and those guys have been killing it. No one's talking about them.
And then Stafford's been
been great.
Yeah.
This game, Trevor, in my opinion, because look, the Eagles have won 13 of 14. The Rams have won 6 of 7.
Yeah.
Both these teams are heaters.
Arguably, the Rams have been the hottest team down the stretch the last 6-7 weeks of the season.
Now, they've had some slow starts.
Yeah.
But so have the Eagles. The Eagles have had some slow starts against some bad teams, too, I might add, during this winning streak, right?
Yeah.
And the biggest reason why is because they get no fluidity offensively. Unless Saquon does some great shit, they don't do anything offensively because Jalen Hurts can't find the open man to save his fucking life and won't take a throw downfield to save his fucking life. And then A.J. Brown's reading books on the sidelines because of it. That's a real problem.
Jalen likes to crumble big moments too, man.
I truly believe, Trevor, this game comes down to which quarterback can extend more drives because I don't think Saquon is going to be as dominant against this version of the Rams defense like he did several weeks back.
Right.
And I'd be a fool to pick against anybody. I'd be a fool to pick against Stafford in this spot. I'd be a fool.
Yeah.
Whether I don't give a shit, dude.
Proven champions.
Since joining the Rams, see, people don't talk about this. All I keep hearing is, well, Stafford in inclement weather, he struggled. Guys, since joining the Rams in 2021, Stafford in his postseason games is 5-1 with a 71 completion percentage while also owning the most passing yards per game average in NFL postseason history with 300.
He good.
Oh, in his postseason career with the Rams, Trevor, 3 interceptions to 13 touchdowns.
Yeah, I've been betting unders on his interceptions for like the last couple weeks.
But here's the biggest stat, and I want you to put that on the screen real quick with Sean McVay.
Here we go.
When he gets a second bite of the apple against a team, look at that. Would you look at it? Would you look at it?
This is my biggest mover here. This is my biggest decision maker.
Sean McVay versus teams. This is via First Things First. Sean McVay versus teams he faced in the regular season, in the postseason. 6-0. 28 points per game, holding opponents under 18 points per game with a turnover differential of +4. Trevor,
Tell
the
me.
Rams are going to win this game. McVay, Stafford are going to be the difference because McVay and Stafford are the better head coach quarterback duo in this matchup. Sirianni is bad situationally. Jalen Hurts has just been bad, period. And so, even if Saquon has a really good game, let's say Saquon has 165 rushing yards, I still don't think that's enough to beat the Rams now because the Rams defense is so goddamn resilient. I know the Eagles have an awesome offensive line, but if Jalen Hurts is holding on to that pill, Jared Verse is getting to him.
Yeah.
Braden Fisk is getting to him. These dudes are going to get to him eventually,
They've been
dude.
active
And it's going to make him have to think quick. And when he thinks quick, he doesn't make good decisions. So I am of the belief, I know the Rams have a shaky secondary, but I don't think it's going to matter in this one because Jalen Hurts will not pull the trigger.
He's not that guy that's gonna like pick you apart though.
No.
And like biff in the pocket and just dice you up. That's
Dude.
not his game.
I think this is going to be a low-ish scoring game. It's going to be a situational game, but that fits into the Rams style far more than the Eagles. Because if they were just trading blows, I'd pick the Eagles. If it was going to be, if you told me, Trevor, right now, hey, this game will be 38-35, I'd go Eagles. Give me the Eagles. Because the Rams can't, I don't think they did it one time with the Bills. But outside of that one game, they haven't done that this year. They play ugly, muddy it up. They play more old school style of football. That's more of how the Rams want to play this game, especially on the road. Because what you don't want to do is get those Eagles fans involved. Yeah. They are nasty up there, dude. We just saw that this week. And that dude got fired from his job. Fuck him. So that whole situation will tell you what the Eagles fans will do in this game if you get them involved. The Rams are going to keep them out of the game. Sean McVay is going to put up an absolute masterclass in this one. Give me the Rams by a field goal, 23-20.
This is my blowout.
Ooh.
I have
Okay.
I have the Rams winning this game easily.
Oh, shit.
You talk about the Rams having a slow start. You don't think McVay knows that? McVay is the best coach in this league outside of Andy Reid, in my personal opinion. He's the guy I wanted to take this job. If Andy Reid ever retires, that would be the first guy in line for me. I respect him. I what he does with football. He's just a brilliant guy, and he understands situations. He's a player's coach. He understands what these guys want. He listens to his players. He understands the strengths and weaknesses of his roster, and he also understands the same things on the opposition. And that stat you showed, I didn't even see that stat. That's nuts. But I've just kind of always known that about him. He's so good when he gets a second chance against somebody. And they're just the best. Listen, I know the Eagles are a loaded roster and they've been rolling. Their defense has definitely been playing a lot better lately. I think Stafford's going to go just absolutely dice this defense up. That secondary, it's been good lately because they've been getting a lot of pressure up front. But the O-line for the Rams, if they hold up and Stafford has time to deliver the ball, who I think still possibly is the best thrower of the football in the game still. Stafford is one of the best at spinning it of all time.
Yeah.
I think Stafford's going to go off because I do not think that secondary has an answer for Puka and even, an older Cooper Kupp. He's still got it. He's still that guy that can get separation with the best of them.
Yeah.
And Puka, after the catch, is an absolute monster. So the best way to slow down the run game for Philly is to force them to play catch up. And I think this is a game where the Rams have a hot start instead of a slower start. They kind of take the game by storm.
Just to your point, they did it with the Vikings last week.
And I think there's going to be turnovers from Philly. I think Jalen Hurts he did not look good last week.
No.
But not impressive at all. Coming in, listen, I get, and I respect the hell out of Jalen. I like him as a person, humble guy. But he's coming off that concussion, so I understand all that. He had some time off, a little bit. Maybe it was a little bit of rust last game, but he didn't look too good. And I just have a feeling about this game where he's going to kind of crumble a little bit. They're going to, the defense of the Rams is going to really draw some things up. I think there's going to be some exotic stunts and blitzes are going to find ways to get pressure on him. When he's under pressure, that dude will take sacks 15 yards back.
Sure,
we've seen him try to extend plays and just take really really bad sacks and bad decisions. And I think the Rams are really going to get after them, as offensively and defensively. I think they're going to jump out to an early lead, force the Eagles to chase points, and that's where they're uncomfortable. They like to play with the lead. They like to let their defense pin their ears back and get after the opposing quarterbacks because they can just let Saquon eat on the offensive side and just own the clock. They're not going to get that opportunity in this game. I don't think it's going to be close. I think the Rams got to win by 13, 14 points.
Woo! Imagine that on the road. You imagine how much the Eagles would get booed out of their own stadium and they got whooped like that and they're at home.
Yeah, Stafford was fine against that pass rush and then those incredible blitz packages over in Minnesota.
It'd be interesting to see the line.
All that.
Let's say you're 100% correct. Let's say like the Rams win this game.
I think Sirianni's in the hot seat after this game.
Yeah, but let's say like the Rams win this game like 27-14, right? You're right. Let's say they do that. I imagine the line in the Lions-Rams game. Like, what would it be?
Yeah.
because you have the Rams coming out back-to-back blowout road games.
They're like plus 250 on the money line too. I'm all over.
Oh God, yeah, dude, like hammer that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, what I'm saying is like, obviously the Lions would probably still be the favorite, but I don't think they get a full 3. I think that'd be like a 1.5 or a 2.
I think you already know who I'm picking because our Super Bowl pick was.
Yeah, we don't get too ahead of ourselves, but yeah, it's looking really good right now, baby. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm all for it.
But no, I just think this is a bad matchup, and to those stats, those hold true. That's called consistency.
Yeah, and I was giving
that's
the
what he
Eagles credit because it's in Philly.
I get it, man.
If this was in LA, I would have probably picked a blowout too.
I get it,
but
I'm trusting the better head coach and the better quarterback in this situation.
Definitely,
and I'm trusting both these defenses are rolling. I get it.
Jesus Christ, look what he dude. John McVay's understudy last week on the road.
Yeah,
he bowled him. How many times, Trevor, have you seen O'Connell get just rolled up like that?
All right, I got to address this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Bumpa BB, I can't take Trev's pick seriously after him picking the Broncos last. Like, listen, I'm holding the L for that. I get it, guys. Listen, I tried, bro. You want to talk about manifesting? Your boy was trying to manifest it. I did believe it. I put money on it, so I lost money on it. So, listen, it felt very dirty, and I'm glad the Broncos lost to a degree because it's the fucking Broncos. Let's be serious. But at the same time, I mean, the game started up, dude. When they had that over-the-top touchdown, I was like,
oh, shit,
let's fucking go.
You might be
and
cooking.
Then from there on, they didn't do jack shit.
Yeah.
So
I think Knicks had like 82 yards after that.
I tried, guys. I tried. Okay, you know what? You can crucify me for it, and that's fine, and I'll hold that L. But I mean, at the same time, I had my vision board ready to go. I was doing the whole
I said it was be a close game. It wasn't.
It was ugly. It should have been better. The Broncos offense, I don't know what the coaching was doing there. They didn't adjust on anything. They didn't.
Zipper Lips had a bad game plan on that one.
They weren't doing much. So I'm sorry, guys. I got your hopes up, and I lost money on it, so I put my money.
I promise you guys, Trevor will not pick the Broncos to win this week.
Yes.
So don't worry.
Yeah, that can't happen. Literally.
And speaking of the team that clapped those Bronco cheeks, Bills Ravens. Bills are hosting the Ravens, guys. This is the gauntlet. Let's not try to downplay this. This is a massive matchup. We know that these are the whole narrative of who's going to be the MVP is between these two guys, unfortunately. But I digress. The point is, these teams are unbelievably awesome, and they are unbelievably equal. Trevor, you post that stat real quick of the evenness between these two teams.
This is a hell of a matchup, man.
I mean, look at that.
Would you look at it?
They're both scoring the exact same amount of points, giving up the exact same amount of points, and the point differential is literally the same number, plus 157.
Nuts, man.
Unbelievably equal teams. However, we saw in week 4 this season, the Ravens rolled to a 35-10 decision in Baltimore against this Bills team. Derrick Henry, he had a measly 199 rushing yards, exploding for an 87-yard touchdown run on the Ravens' first play from scrimmage, and Lamar Jackson threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for another.
Yeah.
Baltimore built a 21-3 halftime lead and never looked back. And the question now is, will Derrick Henry continue that wild run? Well, guys, over the last 4 games, Derrick Henry is averaging 158 rushing yards. He is having his best season, in my opinion. Maybe not statistically for a whole year, but the hot streak he's on right now, we've never seen this from Derrick Henry like this. It's an absolute. The man is quickly becoming one of the 5 to 10 greatest running backs we've ever seen.
Yep.
Honestly, Derrick Henry might be my favorite running back outside of Barry Sanders ever.
That's just a unique guy.
Yeah, it's just so fun to watch. Seeing a monster just run like
he looks like one of those runner.
He looks like one of those fucking dudes on Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, the orcs.
Yeah, the long hair. Like scary, dude.
Yeah.
And the Ravens are 10-0 with this season when Derrick Henry gets at least 100 rushing yards. Baltimore played bully ball against the Steelers last week, often using an extra offensive lineman, which I thought was super genius, with 2 tight ends as well.
Yeah. And
Pro Bowl fullback Patrick Ricard, who only weighs 400 pounds.
Insane. Moves like a...
Yeah. I mean, there were holes everywhere for the field for Derrick Henry. They may repeat that strategy against the Bills, who likes to play a lot of 5 defensive backs, which makes their defense very light and little. And that's their base defense. They like to play a lot of zone. Yeah. Buffalo must prove, though, that they have enough muscle to slow down Baltimore's league-leading rushing attack, or the Ravens could ground and pound their way into another win and go into the next round, guys. But see, there's also the question of the Baltimore's defense. Have they truly improved to contain Buffalo?
Right. Can they beat a good quarterback in the postseason?
Yeah. Nobody has shut down the Bills at home this season, dude.
The Bills are proven winners in the postseason.
They're averaging 34 points per game while going 9-0 and winning by an average margin of 17 per game at home this season. This is the best team Baltimore's defense has faced during its current 5-game winning streak.
Yeah.
Allen and the arm talent have to take advantage of the mental and physical lapses of Baltimore's secondary, and the Ravens gave up 2 long touchdown passes to Pittsburgh last weekend. The Ravens may need their best defensive game of the season to leave Buffalo with a victory. And I'm going to be real with you guys. This has been the toughest game for me to predict. By far, the toughest game for me to predict. I think stylistically, the Ravens are favored. But no Zay Flowers, which is a massive loss for the Ravens offense.
Huge.
In Buffalo, we just talked about how dominant Buffalo's been.
Nasty weather.
Frigid conditions.
Yep.
Lamar's postseason woes could come back to haunt him, as we all know he does every year. It's almost impossible for me to pick Baltimore when all this is considered, man. But that's why I'm picking Baltimore in this game.
Let's go.
Because I know how close this one will be, and when it comes to close nail-biter games, the Bills shit their pants. They always find ways to lose. How do I know this, Trevor? Well, I did some diving this weekend. Since 2021, the Bills in one-possession games, this is including the postseason, are 14-18. That's the last 4 years of football.
Yeah.
14-18. This is clearly their weakness, or more importantly, the head coach's biggest weakness. I think McDermott makes a very costly error in this game like he has in so many postseason games before.
Yeah.
And the Ravens advance because of that fact. I think Josh Allen's going to be great. I think Josh Allen's going to play awesome football. I think he's going to do just fine. I don't think he's got a bunch of turnovers or, he's going to fall back to old Josh. I think he's going to be just fine.
Playoff Josh Allen is
He's been unreal.
incredible.
He's been unreal.
He'd be a Super Bowl winner, or at least in a Super Bowl if it wasn't.
But here's the thing, Trevor.
Times.
To Josh Allen's point, I wanted to bring this up as a fact as well.
Yeah.
Do you know that in Josh Allen's 6 playoff wins, he's never beaten a divisional winner? Never beaten a division winner. He's only beaten wildcard teams.
Yeah.
He's feasted on the lowly, but when he faces Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes, what has he done? He doesn't beat them.
Yeah.
So, at least when they're divisional winners, because he beat Lamar in 2020 when Lamar was 18 years old. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, the point I'm trying to make is this is going to be something that's now going to be part of Josh's legacy if he doesn't get this done.
Yeah.
Because then you're looking at, he'd be 6-6 in his postseason career, and all 6 losses came against the best of the best. Deshaun Watson won his division back all those years ago. Patrick Mahomes 3 times. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, it's starting to tally up, dude.
Yeah.
But I think this game's more on McDermott, and I think that the Bills are going to have a big decision to make this offseason. I don't want to go too far into the weeds, but McDermott has that extension. I think they lose because of him, because of a bad decision he makes, whether it's going on a 4th and 4, or, he has a bad special teams decision where he tries to fake a kick or punt or something like that, and it fucks him. I think that's what happens. I have the Ravens winning this game 27-24.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously the game of the week. Everyone's going to be watching. And it's about as equal as you can get, as you showed the stats there and the numbers between the two teams when they match up. I was back and forth on who I wanted to pick and what narrative I was kind of wanting to go with that swayed me one way or the other. I'm picking the Ravens as well. I like them in this game. I think they're just the better team going into this matchup, and I don't think the weather is as big of a deal. I mean, they're from Maryland, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? So they've had their several bad weather games. I know it's not supposed to be a lot of snow. It's supposed to be kind of wet and cold and a little bit, maybe a little windy. I think both these teams are built similar. They like to run the ball. They have very mobile quarterbacks, right? And their defenses are pretty stout. They don't allow a lot of big plays, over-the-top plays a lot of times. And the Ravens' defense has been playing really, really good lately.
So they moved Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, Dennis. Yeah,
strong
basically
safety.
A box safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been huge for them because he's kind of that height and his ability to play laterally is so important. And that's got a big deal. I think he could be spying Josh Allen. That could be a solid play for them to go with too as well. I think both quarterbacks are going to play well. Yep. I think both teams play well. I think this is such a good matchup. I think both guys are going to eat. But I think coaching does come into play here, and I trust John Harbaugh a lot more than I trust McDermott. Both good coaches, without question. But I just think the Ravens are the better team. I think they've been. I know the record would say otherwise because they lost more games. I think they've been when hot. They've been the better team, and I think they've been rolling a little bit better coming into the postseason than the Bills have. And it wasn't, listen, I say what you want about the Broncos. That was an impressive win over the Broncos. They dominated them.
Yeah.
The Broncos are a good team. We've had our, close fits with that team as well. And they absolutely just de-pants them in front of the world and me. So, but listen, I give credit to that. That's an impressive win. They took care of, they played the hand they were dealt and they dominated them. And, the Ravens also, a game that everyone thought was going to be a little closer than it was, divisional foe, a team that they're seeing for the third time this year in the Steelers. They beat their ass too, for the most part, in that game. So, and that team knows them very well. So I don't know. For me, it's just, I think Lamar is really, really, this is the most motivated and inspired I've ever seen Lamar this season. I know they were the 1 seed last year, so it's hard to get more inspired and be more impressive than that. But statistically and what he's done and the way he's really been more willing to just run a little bit more this season and have design runs, and then the addition of Derrick Henry, my God, what he's done for that offense outside of week 1 when we shut his ass down, has been just nothing less than incredible. So I think that matters more. I trust Lamar and Derrick Henry in the postseason than I do Josh Allen and James Cook, in my opinion. So it's you had them winning by 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm right there with you. I think this is gonna be a close game. I think it might come down to who has the ball last.
Yeah.
Possible field goal situation, which is nightmare fuel for the Bills. How they continue to lose postseason games, with field goal, either missing a field goal or the opposition hitting one to seal it. But I like the Ravens, man. When it came down to the crossroads, the fork in the road here, I had to pick the Ravens. I just think they're the better team, in my opinion.
Yep, I definitely agree with that. And I think if everybody was being honest, they would say the same thing. Even though, like you said, the Bills had a better record, I think that the Bills had a slightly easier schedule too. They had a weaker division.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad.
You put them in that division with the Ravens,
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, I also think too that I want these teams just to absolutely just beat the shit out of each other.
Right. And I think they're going to.
Because, I want them to be kind of stumbling into our matchup. That'd be ideal.
It won't be like that early game where it's 35-10.
This is going to be a slugfest.
Josh Allen's going to, I think Josh Allen's going to have a hell of a game.
Oh, for sure. That's what I said. Both quarterbacks, I think, ball out.
I think Josh is showing guys that he's
probably going to have like 60 to 70 rushing yards probably.
Yes.
He's going to be running all over.
I would say right now, if I was to put a wager on right now, I bet Josh has 245 passing yards, 65 plus rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, solid, awesome game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? James Cook probably rushes for 65 to 85 rushing yards, touchdown. They get a Tyler Bass field goal.
Yeah.
And they lose, like I said, the end of the game because they have a 4th and 4, and instead of punting, Sean McDermott tries to go for it or tries to do a fake punt or something.
Yeah.
Something fucky is going to happen, guys. I'm telling you, Sean McDermott's going to do something stupid, and it's going to cost them the game. Where we're all sitting here going, Bill should have won that game.
Yeah.
We're going to look around the room like they had the game. Like they could have easily just had. I think they're going to gift wrap this game to Lamar Jackson.
And also I won't be surprised if the Bills find a way to win too, because Josh Allen is incredible. So at the same time, that I would not be surprised if the Bills win. But I'd also want to say to everybody who's watching, go ahead and try to get some questions in. I got a few in the chamber right now. But if you guys got any other questions about whether today's game or any other games, whatever, got personal questions for us. It's episode 300, baby. Let's get some things. Let's get loose. Let's get some questions.
Yeah.
But back to the game, though. To you, a question for you. Who would you want to win? If you had to pick a matchup, I know everyone has this conversation.
Yep.
Who would they'd rather see, whether it's the Ravens or the Bills? I didn't know if you had a preference.
The Ravens.
Yeah.
I think stylistically, the Chiefs, they match up with the Ravens better because the Ravens' number one strength, this is why when they got Derrick Henry, I was not worried. Even though I love and respect the shit out of Derrick Henry. All they became was more of who they already were.
And there's a mental edge we have on Lamar.
Yeah, and the Chiefs they're literally elite at stopping the run. And you saw in that first matchup that the Ravens could not run with success against the Chiefs. Yeah. It took Lamar running all over the damn field to just make anything happen.
Nick Bolton, for whatever reason, he matches up so well with Derrick Henry.
Spags gets in the Ravens' head, dude.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs, it's like a personal thing with Patrick Mahomes. He likes to son Lamar Jackson. Like, he likes to show, you ain't beating me, motherfucker. Yeah. It took a Clyde Edwards-Helaire fourth quarter fumble for you to ever beat me. You ain't beating me, motherfucker. I've been in your house, clap them cheeks. You know what I mean? Like, we've whooped that ass several times over. Stylistically, I like that matchup better.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about either team for the record.
Right.
But we've seen the Bills beat the Chiefs 4 consecutive times in the regular season. Lamar has one singular win against Patrick Mahomes' entire career. I just think that the Chiefs would have a more comfortable margin of victory in a game against the Ravens than, let's say, the the Bills.
And it's something about too when we play the Ravens. Like John Harbaugh is visually shook.
Yes,
it's
he's
a thing.
A former assistant of Andy
It is
Reid.
a thing. Andy Reid is
McDermott
in
is
his
too
head.
technically. So.
Sure. But yeah, John Harbaugh was far closer with Andy Reid during that time. But yeah, I've always noticed that whenever they cut to the sideline and Harbaugh, like situationally in football, in certain situational football situations, I don't know what that even I just said, but when like the game's tight, they show like John Harbaugh on the sidelines. He just looks worried.
Yeah.
A lot. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just a strange thing. And obviously, outside of the mental edge we have on Lamar that we've always had, he just always plays. He'll have okay games, like maybe rushing and stuff, but he tends to not play his best games against us. And we're so good against the run. They kind of play right into how we like to play defense.
Sure.
So I would definitely pick the Ravens, but man, it'd be fun to play the Bills again in AFC Championship.
Honestly, if you're asking me like what was a better storyline, it's Bills
For the
Chiefs.
third time.
Fourth time. That'd be the fourth time.
Yeah.
I would love it. Don't get me wrong. Like if I had to choose for like the storyline, it's Chiefs Bills.
Yeah.
But if I'm like, who do I want to face more? Oh, it's Ravens, dude, without question.
For sure.
And it sounds weird saying that because we're picking the Ravens to win this game. I just think, like I said, styles make fights, bro. And the Chiefs have a better. I think
I'm just glad it's up the Bengals. I mean, I'm just glad the Bengals are.
Oh, they're so scary, dude.
We don't want to see them.
You know, a team that can lose the Patriots in their home opener, a team that just fired their coach in his first year. You don't want to face a team like that.
Yeah.
They just fired their DC, Lou Anarumo, who was the only guy that could ever really stop Patrick Mahomes.
Team to beat.
That's a scary fucking team, dude. I'm really glad that we didn't have to face those guys.
Yeah.
They won like 7 games this year.
Dodge the bullet.
I mean, that's a scary team. All right, guys, this is the matchup y'all been waiting for. I know you guys have been waiting patiently, so we don't make you wait any longer. It is the Chiefs hosting the Texans. Not to be anticlimactic here, guys, but I'm just going to lay out a couple simple facts for you on this one, because although I had my concerns, and I do have my concerns about the way the Chiefs are shifting around their offensive line again for this matchup, make no mistake about it, I'm not worried about this one at all. And I mean that.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the Chiefs in this game one bit, in fact. In fact, I have been sleeping so damn good this week whenever I've thought about this game. In fact, I've thought about this game to help me fall asleep. It's real nice, guys. And I watched the game last night from earlier this season. It was on NFL Network. Fell asleep. Not even kidding. I was that comfortable. I've been, like I said, this robe means something, damn it. And the biggest reason why this robe means something is this stat. These next two stats I want to show you guys right here and right now. Trevor, let's look at the Reid and Mahomes career together. Would you look at it? Almost an 80% winning percentage.
Good Lord.
Highest of all time by any coach quarterback duo with a minimum of 100 games. 15 playoff wins, second most all time. We know who has the most. 3 Super Bowl titles and 7 straight AFC West titles. I remember, Trevor, when we'd win the AFC West as kids, we thought that was like the grandioso of everything. Holy shit! Chiefs just won the AFC West. What the? We gotta go get t-shirts. We gotta get hats. Now it's like, oh yeah, you got the 2021 AFC West hat. That's cool.
Yeah,
it's real neat. You know what I mean? Like we were a poverty franchise, man, for the longest time, and now it's like, oh yeah, we won the AFC West again. So what else is on? You know, like that's where we're at, guys. We're spoiled now at this point. And I love it. How about the second stat that I want to put up here real quick, Trevor? Patrick Mahomes this season in the 2 games with Hollywood Brown, who we were talking about earlier, the difference maker. Since Hollywood arrived to Kansas City, would you look at it? Chiefs are averaging 28 points per game, which would have been the second most points in the NFL this season. Patrick Mahomes' completion percentage of 72 doesn't really change because he had a great year this year, completion percentage-wise. 290 yards per game, which is right around his average of his career. 7.3 yards per attempt. 5 touchdowns to 0 turnovers. Not interceptions, turnovers. With a passer rating of 110. That's a difference maker, guys. Yes, Joe Thuney playing left tackle has helped. But this is what's actually doing the real work with Patrick Mahomes and getting him in fluidity, is having that piece to throw to that he can trust to make plays with his feet, to stretch the defense, to make them have to actually respect him and not focus on D-Hop and Travis Kelce so much.
And one of those,
like you said,
one
Trevor,
of those 2 games was against who? Houston.
The first game was against Houston.
Yeah.
And what do you know? He had himself impact in that game, and the offense looked better than it has all season long.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to tell you guys. But from an historic side of things, Trevor, how about this? Andy Reid, after the bye, postseason included, 32-7. That is the best of all time. How about Patrick Mahomes, Trevor? with what his record is with 10 plus days of rest. 21-4.
Yeah.
The best of all time.
The rust, though. They're going to be rusty. You didn't know
This
that?
is thank you. I'm so glad
That
you just
narrative
brought
is
that
still
shit
hilarious,
up.
bro.
This would be something that would worry me about this team if this was a young buck, young up and coming crew that has no playoff experience. If the Chiefs were the Commanders and they had 25 days off, I'd be terrified.
Imagine saying the back-to-back champs are going to be rusty coming off some rest.
No one has played more games. No one has won more games than the Chiefs since 2018.
Yeah.
If anybody needs 3 weeks off, it's the goddamn Chiefs. No one else needs that because everyone else has had a lot of shorter seasons than the Chiefs. Like Ryan Clark said, and it was so beautiful, dude. He goes, whenever you look at the Chiefs' schedule, you have to pencil them for at least 18 games. He goes, because they're gonna play all 17, obviously, in the regular season, and they're going to win their divisional game. He goes, so actually, 19 games a year. Pencil the Chiefs in for 19 games a year because they won't play in the wild card. They'll be in the divisional. Patrick Mahomes doesn't lose in the divisional. They'll be in the AFC Championship. So you have to pencil them in for at least 19 games a year. What other team can you say that about?
None, bro.
None.
Yeah.
So this is the difference between them having rust or rest. It is going to clearly be. I'm not expecting the Chiefs first thing out look like they're in complete rhythm and unison. It's probably going to take them a couple plays. It's probably even take them a drive or two. I'm okay with that. But don't tell me for a second that guys like Travis Kelce and Chris Jones and Patrick Mahomes and Joe Thuney and these other veterans, Harrison Butker, who we know he needed a rest.
DeAndre Hopkins.
D-Hop.
This is the moment of his life right here.
These are great. Like these are opportunities for these guys to really get some true rest right in the middle of a run. That is the best opportunity. Kareem Hunt was getting ran into the ground. He gets to rest. Pacheco hasn't been right. He gets to rest. Like all the ailments that we don't even know about that some of these guys are facing. Rest. It is not going to be. It's not like they're sitting around just going, "Fuck, man, we need to get. You guys want to practice? Creed, you want to practice? Okay, never mind. Trey, you're trying out for a contract. You want to? Okay, never mind. No, these guys they're out there busting hump, dude. They're in practice all the time, kicking ass, doing their thing. We saw pictures of the Mahomes at the Mahomes camp before the season started. These guys have been doing this for 6-7 months now. This isn't new. They've been doing this all year, man. But you have to let these guys get some R&R, and that's exactly what they're getting, dude. So I love and this is all respect to D'Amico Ryans, who I love vehemently as head coach.
Back-to-back playoff wins,
dude. What him and C.J. Stroud are doing is awesome.
Yeah.
It's we've never seen it before. They're making history. I love those two guys. I like what the Texans are doing. Remember what they used to be, that piece of shit franchise where they had that Bible guy that was running the franchise for a couple of years? That was so embarrassing, dude. Like, what was it Bible camp or was it fucking football? What are we doing here? You know, the transition of things that they've done is so awesome to see them just get away from that whole McNair bullshit. I love what they're doing down there. But they're gonna get their ass beat this week, dude. The Chiefs are going to blow. This is my blowout.
Okay.
I have the Chiefs winning this game because remember the narrative, Trevor? I know I just teased the score, but I'm going to emphasize it. I said on Arrowhead Allies. What's the biggest narrative that's been against the Chiefs offense this year? They didn't score over 30 points in a single game this year.
Yeah.
This is the game they do it. Trevor, in fact, I'm going to say this. Not only will the Chiefs score over 30 points in this game, they are not going to have a single game in this postseason where they don't score under 30 points. I think the Chiefs score over 30 in every game they play in the postseason.
I mean, the points tend to go upward when we play postseason games, so yeah, that would make sense.
And they're finally complete as an offense. The Chiefs are going to win this game 31-13.
31-13. I love it, man. That is a true blowout, and I think the Chiefs cover the spread. Obviously, I'm picking us to win. I think they cover the spread, but a blowout, in my opinion, is what you just laid out there. Absolutely. I think we win by right around 10 points. Maybe more. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be below 10 points in my opinion. I think we win comfortably, and I think we do get the running game going though. I think arrested Kareem Hunt is huge. I think arrested Pacheco is huge. I don't need a big game from Kelce. I don't think Kelce has to be a big, have to have 70 and a touch. He can go get 60, 65, but what's going on?
I'm sorry, bro. First of all, I want to give credit to Kyle Henning.
I seen that.
He said it's Jack Easterby, so thank you for the name. He goes, the Grima Worm Tongue. Thank you for that.
Grima Worm Tongue?
Yeah, that's a great. Thank you for that. And then Julia follows it up with, Lance, you just made me finished.
Bro, let's go. Chat's lit today.
Julia, You know, some of us got the skills for it. I don't know, you know. I didn't have to be tangible. It's just words, you know what I'm saying? So the silky smooth, velvety tones, they'll get you going.
Not like a strong finish, man.
It was accepted.
That's what we're here for.
They'll like getting a load off.
Not like getting a load off.
This is the Spoken After Dark, so bear with us, guys. We apologize.
Uncut.
Yeah.
We do it live, baby.
You saw me. I outwardly busted up laughing because I see both those back-to-backs. I'm dying over here,
Well,
dude.
the Chiefs will also finish today. I think several times. There's going to be several finishes. We're going to go several rounds here.
They'll be having cigarettes on the sidelines.
Yeah, we're going to go, Lenny.
We're gonna flick
We're going to Len Dawson on the sidelines. The fucking.
They don't want to blow it out in the fields. They blow it on the sideline.
It's going to be Fresca and cigarettes on the sidelines. Let's go.
Let's do it for Lynn.
Yeah. No, man, but yeah. I just think this is I think the Texans are just gonna be simply outmatched. I think there's levels to this. The Chiefs this is not a situation where the Chiefs have a letdown spot. This isn't the team to do it. And I have all the respect. I think CJ Stroud's the truth. I think he's had a slower year this year than last year. Obviously having maybe the best rookie season we ever seen.
Yeah.
So I think the guy is just a guy that makes plays when you need him. So I do give him his credit. And I think I love D'Amico as a coach. I love what he's done with that defense, and he's brought a lot of talent over there. And they got absolute dogs on that defensive line. And then Stingley might be the best corner in football right now. So definitely, guys, you got to respect. And I think our team comes in there with the respect, so we know we want to go put it on them. When you respect someone, you want to beat their ass.
Yeah.
You don't want to play as far as like. Keeping the game respectful. You want to go disrespect the guys you respect.
Yeah, you want to beat
because
that ass.
you know that you respect them enough to know that they're going to bring it.
Right.
So we got to bring that heat, and I think that the championship caliber football is going to be on full display today. I think Hollywood Brown is the guy that's going to be the most guy that pops off the screen for me today.
I like that.
And I know we haven't really discussed on who our guys are in this game, but for me, I'll just jump out ahead of it.
Oh yeah.
I think Hollywood Brown's going to have like 8 to 9 catches for near 100 yards today, maybe a score. I think he's gonna have his best game as a Chief yet. I think he was primed to have a huge year this year with this offense. And I think you've seen his first game back, he had like 8 targets. Next week, in the next game, he had like 7 targets. You know what I mean? So I think this guy has Pat's trust right out the gate, and I think he plays the kind of football that Pat likes to rely on. That guy that can get the ball out quick too, depend on after the catch. That's why Rashee Rice was flourishing in this offense too. And Travis is still going to be a magnet out there for defensive players. So I think there's going to be a lot of attention on Travis because they all know what he does in the postseason, and he probably still will get his to a degree. But I don't need a legendary Travis game in this game, in my opinion. I think with the way Xavier's been playing, I think Noah Gray's always a sneaky play to score a touchdown when it comes to it because he always does. They had a solid stretch there. But I think with Hollywood Brown, that might dwindle that a little bit. His opportunities, he won't be on the field as much. But those extra guys. That kind of, I think those glue guys that we like to call them. Yeah, man, the others. I think those guys will show up too in this game. I think having Jalen Watson back on this defense is huge for us as well. I think this is going to be a dominant performance, man. I think we beat their ass the first time around a few weeks ago, but it felt like we held a lot back. It felt like we didn't even show that much. We were out there. Pat was just comfortable, just dicing them up. I think if you get Pat riled up, and say they get one good lick on Pat. He likes to tap those guys in the head after they play a good look. Yep. Yeah. So they get one good hit on them. That's just going to, you woke up the wrong motherfucker, right? So you're going to get that kind of Pat today if they get a couple hits on him. And I think Pat's just going to go nuclear. I like Pat for like 300 plus and 3 tutties today. I'm
glad you said that because that was going to be my prediction as well. And I want to give a shout out to everybody that's in the chat because it's still so funny on there.
It's going in.
Kyle Henning, he said he took 30-16 on Kingdom Says last night. Shout out to Kingdom Says. They just got over their 200th episode, so shout out to him, Thomas, and Garrett. Those are our buddies over there. Definitely go and subscribe to their show, guys. They have a really good show. Those are like really well-informed guys. Like, obviously, we're 2 jackasses here that like to make you guys laugh and entertain you and stuff, but those are like dudes that like will break down like film and like talk about cover 2s and like we know that stuff, but not like they do. They know the draft in and out. Like those are like educated motherfuckers. So go follow them if you want education. I couldn't say it right. See how I did that? Our Clear the Air with E said 31-10 Chiefs.
I like it.
I like that score. Ruben Cruz says, I look like a collector. Damn right. I collect that ass. KC wins 31-21 Hunt, D-Hop, and they have a touchdown in this game. That was Mac 10. Clear the Air with E. Lance already has a robot. Cigar next. Trevor and I got Stogies on deck, babe.
Oh, you already know.
We got Stogies on deck for the night.
You already know.
Ruben Cruz says, like Lance McDuffie says, rents due with interest.
Fine. I don't hate McDuffie. I love him. All right, let's leave it there. I'm sticking with. Hold on. Actually, keep that thought in there for a second. John Harrison. I'm sticking with my prediction from Allies. He was with us on Tuesday. 30-17. Love that score as well. And James T. Kirks. Yeah, definitely check out Kingdom Says. They have a great show, man. Definitely worth your time. I'll be totally truthful. There are some shows you probably won't like them. They are not one of those shows. You're definitely gonna enjoy those guys. Very personable dudes, down to earth, humble guys. Great content, man. Definitely recommend them. They're definitely one of my go-tos.
Man, Ruben Cruz with 28-9 score prediction.
That's actually, you know what's weird? That might actually be
no tutties for the Texans.
That might actually be an accurate one.
Put
I like
money,
that one.
If you really believe that, put money on the Texans not to score a touchdown.
That's a really good score. I like that.
Yeah.
28-9. That sounds good.
I mean, listen, I hate trying to be, because I respect the Texans. I like them as a lot. They're a very likable team outside of it. Like Al Shahir, that guy's kind of a lame in my opinion, but great player. But this isn't a team I dislike, so it's not fun to try to shit on them or brush them under the rug like they're nothing. It's going to be respectful off the gate, but respectfully, you got to catch these hands.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Right? So this just feels like a game, man. Where I feel like you said you slept so good last night. I definitely did too. I've been. I mean, a lot of people are saying oh, I'm anxious. I think a lot of people are anxious because of the time off, the lag that we've had leading in. We've had a lot of time to think about it.
Yeah,
right. So you can convince yourself that this game could be a close one. And it very well may be, but that's like a 5% chance in my opinion.
Right.
I think this is just a game where there's levels to this, there's tiers to this, and the Chiefs are just at a different tier.
Oh, there'll be tiers, all right, and they'll be in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
Dustin Orton said 38-14. That's a hell of a score. I like that. That'd be a great
38
score.
would be fun.
That'd be so much fun.
That would probably mean we score defensive touchdowns.
Boy,
we don't really score that much.
Probably.
Defensive. Chris Jones, sack, fumble.
Maybe Nico House's one. I don't know. But here's another factor we didn't talk about, Trevor. Joe Mixon, questionable. Suffered an injury in Wednesday's practice. I do expect him to play, but I think he would go from being 90% to 75%. That's a massive difference.
I don't think it matters. I think we'd shut him down healthy or not.
Well, here's where I'm going to segue to my key players.
Yeah.
Look, dude, losing Tank Dell sucks for the Texans. That is a massive, massive loss.
Especially after losing Stephon Diggs earlier in the year.
But unfortunately, I mean, the Texans are going to have to play without Nico Collins this week too. I don't know if you heard, but he's going to be guarded by Trent McDuffie. And Trent McDuffie is going to shut Nico the fuck down in this game, dude. I am putting my neck on the line right now. Nico's going to have less than 65 yards in this game. Less than 65 yards in this game.
Did he even have that last time he played? I think he had right around 60.
I don't know. But this is a playoff game, and CJ is going to try to get his boy fed because that's the main target outside of maybe Schultz. I
think we play him kind of how we play Jamar. We always kind of have another guy kind of like a safety kind of monitoring him with him. The bracket,
yes. You're going to see Brian Cook or Jaden Hicks, Justin Reed, the alternation of these guys. Yeah. I think that McDuffie's going to shut this dude down.
Our guy Kyle Henning says they also called up J.J. Taylor from the practice squad because they're not supremely confident in Mixon's health. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's an ankle, too. I mean, you're
right. Man.
Ankle to run.
He's had a history of leg injuries. So
Mixon's a stud, though.
Thank you for that info, Kyle. We did not know that about the J.J. Taylor kid coming up. And that when teams bring up guys from the practice squad, dude, that's always a serious thing. That means they're not fucking around with this. Yeah. I'm expecting Joe to go, but how effective will he be, let alone against the juggernaut you're talking about, the Chiefs defense against the rush? This could be bad quick, man. This could be a really bad game for them quick. And on my offensive side, dude, I am not mincing fucking words here right now. Patrick Mahomes is going to have a monster game this week. I said on Allies, and I'll say it right here. Patrick's having 4 touchdowns in this game.
And what he does in the divisional round is insane.
And I'm gonna kind of combine it here. It's the goat to goat connection because I'm actually going to slightly disagree with you. Okay. I think Travis Kelce has a monster game this week. I think this is the game of games today.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce is gonna. You remember in the divisional game 2019 that sparked the dynasty?
Yeah.
He had 10 catches for 152 yards and 3 touchdowns. I don't think he has that. But I think it's something close. I'm dead serious. I think Travis Kelce gets anywhere from 8 to 10 receptions, 100+ yards, and 2 touchdowns.
I want that. That's my favorite player of all time. I mean, I want that guy to get those records.
Well, because think about this. The Texas defense is very, very good at pass rush.
Yeah.
You know what they're not good at? Stopping tight ends. This is that game that I truly think that Travis Kelce goes off. And then you're going to see, and now obviously the Texans You know, the storyline of, you know, obviously D-Hop was once there.
Yeah.
Who else has been? Justin Reed was once there. So
he was the guy that sparked the dynasty on the negative side of
things.
things.
Maybe D-Hop wants to get off a little bit in this game, and maybe he does.
Yeah.
But I think that Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes have been just clenching their teeth all season to get their goat-to-goat connection going again. I don't think they want to wait any longer. I think they're going to make a statement in this game. I think Travis puts himself back on the map. He's going to be a headliner for this week to talk about. Travis Kelce back? Oh my God. Like the national media all of a sudden is going to remember Travis Kelce. I think he has 8 to 10 receptions, 100 plus yards, 2 touchdowns in this game. Is that nuts? I don't care. No. I think it happens.
I mean, we can just rewind the tape to last season.
Yeah.
And just kind of go with what we know what he does in the postseason. So I would not be surprised or shocked by that at all. I just think for me why Hollywood's my guy in this game is because he's a guy that's working for a new contract, may or may not be in here next year, may try to, you know, if he blows up this postseason, has an incredible postseason, that can line him up for maybe some money with or without the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But I think they wanted to do that this year. This was supposed to. That was the goal this year, to have that 1 year contract for him and really showcase him and what he can do.
Yep.
It was an awful thing that he got hurt before the season even got going. I think this is a really, not that we need to like prove anything. We want to just win this game.
Yeah.
But I think we win this game by Hollywood going. I still think Trav can get his, but I think this is a game where Hollywood went off against them the first time. I mean, not necessarily went off, but like his first game back from that injury, he looked really comfortable. Him and Pat, you see it the last couple weeks. I think they're going to build on that, and I believe in trends. I like to follow the trends, and offensively, I think Hollywood's going to get fed in this game.
All right, so I'll do this, then we'll move on. I'm going to try to predict who gets all of Patrick's touchdowns. I say he gets 4.
Oh, wow.
Travis gets 2 of them.
You don't think we get a rushing touchdown?
No, because to my point,
I think Pat could rush one.
My point, maybe so.
Yeah,
he did in the first game.
Yeah,
but I think the running game is going to take a little bit of a dip, man, because of the changing of the guard. Literally, I think that's what's going to happen. That was pretty well done, actually. That was top of the dome. You're welcome. I think that the pass game is going to have to be prevalent in this one. I think Patrick throws the ball over 40 times.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter because he's going to kick their fucking ass. So it's not even going to matter about the running game. They can have 68 yards and it's not even going to matter. I think this is the matchup that won't matter. Next week, it will matter. You need to be able to run the ball. We'll have that discussion when that time comes. But I think it's 2 of them are going to Travis. I will say that D-Hop gets a touchdown in this game. I think they're going to make sure they draw one up for him to get one against his former team. It's just something about it. I think the game will be a little bit out of hand at that point, like 21-6, you know, something like that. And they line one up for him like a goal, like a 5-yard screen, little bubble screen, or like a dig route. I think he'd do something like that for D-Hop. And I will say that the 4th one's going to go to somebody random as shit. I'm going to say like
Justin Watson or something.
Yes,
or Nico,
like somebody like that. Yeah, somebody like Samaje Perine.
You like to flex on these guys.
Samaje Perine, Justin Watson, McColl if he plays. I don't know if McColl's playing or not. Then Nico. I'd say maybe Nico gets one. And I will literally undress myself.
Hendershot, bro.
Family, if you're watching right now, Dad, everybody that's going to watch the game with me, I'm going to get naked if Nico gets a touchdown in this game. I'm sorry, but I'll go outside and it's going to get really trivial out there. But I'm going to get butt-ass naked, Bruce Almighty style. I mean, my clothes are just going to fling off, dude, if Nico gets a touchdown in this game. So I'm kind of hoping it doesn't happen for the cause of, trauma to everybody.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of hoping it does because Nico getting a touchdown would be fucking huge, dude.
I think he scored 4 touchdowns, but I do think Kareem gets one. I think we get down the goal line. I think Kareem gets one.
Okay.
I do. I think Kareem is locked in. To get on like a goal to go kind of situation. Give the ball to Kareem. But I think Pat does throw for 3, though. I think once we go to
Kareem gets
Kelce,
one. I will Kareem as well.
I think Hollywood gets one, and I think D-Hop could definitely get one, or Noah Gray. Noah Gray is always he scored last year in the postseason. He's a guy that Pat likes to look to in those kind of games, and it's always unpredictable. And like we said, they're not good against tight ends. I can see Travis Kelce going one way and Noah Gray going underneath or something like that. And Noah Gray gets a little sneaky touchdown. Yeah, so I think Noah Gray is a good call for a touchdown score.
Julia, I need Lance's address for reasons. Go get you some. No, I was kidding. It's getting hot, sweaty in here, guys.
These cameras are starting to steam up.
Yeah, turn them up to 88.
Lance is getting soupy under there.
Let the boy watch. No, let him learn like his father learned.
Anyways, football. Yeah. So I think this is a good offense performance. But I think honestly, bro, I think even as much as we're talking about this Chiefs offense, I think this Chiefs defense is going to be so dominant in this game.
That's
I think we're going to dominate both sides, man. I I think our pass rush is just going to be on Stroud's ass all day long.
And McDuffie's going to be on his shit.
Yeah.
McDuffie's going to be on his shit.
And think about it. Last time Chris Jones he got hurt in that game, right?
Yeah, straight his calf.
So, I mean, he missed a quarter and a half of that game almost. So I think Chris Jones is going to be ready, locked, and loaded to go. And I think Amenahu, those guys are just going to get after the Texans, man. Because Amenahu's already got kind of grief with the Texans. So he kind of...
That's the third guy. Thank you.
Yeah. So he already doesn't like them. So I think this is a moment where they really just get after Stroud. And I think it's going to be tough. A long night for him. For sure. Or a long day, actually.
Well, that's our predictions of this divisional. I think this is probably the best week of football.
Do you have a defensive guy, though, in your game?
I said Trent McDuffie.
Oh, Trent McDuffie?
Yeah, that's definitely...
I think mine's Amenahu.
I like that. That's a really good pick.
Yeah, I'm going to lean into that hatred.
That's our picks of the best week, I think, of football. You guys give us your score predictions. Who you guys have? I know John Harrison and a few others already dropped theirs. James T. Kirk, I think, did as well. Thank you guys for that. Keep dropping them in the comments. But, guys, it is time for you to shine. It is time for Speak It. Trevor, what are the people asking us?
All right, man. So we got several more coming in once I told everybody to start getting them in here. So we got some. I do want to showcase John Harrison's first. Everyone's talking about the Chiefs O-line, and this goes right in line with what I just kind of ended our last segment with. Everyone's talking about the Chiefs O-line and the offense. It's time for Jones and the D-line to dominate this team's O-line. They've given up 57 sacks this year. Spags unleash hell. Could be more in agreement with you there, John. I think that could be, when it's all said and done, this game's over with. That could be the biggest story of this game, how dominant our defensive line was. Because Pat is expected to go dominate. Kelce's expected to go dominate. I think this defense is as well, because we've been great at not allowing points to be scored all season long. But I think there's like 5-6 sacks that could possibly come in this game, man. I really think we're going to get after Stroud, and it's going to be a really long day for him.
Our guy Douglas Slyman, what's good, gentlemen? What's good to you, brother? Glad you're in.
Appreciate you being here.
Our guy John Harrison did follow up with another message. He said the wide receiver Woods is out.
Oh, he's out?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Robert Woods is out. Bobby Trees is out. Mixon, Shaq Mason, his backup guard, Scruggs is dinged up. Schultz and other tight end and Shahir, a linebacker, have all been hurt. And when it's cold, him and hits and tackles hurt more. You're right about that, man. And that's the beautiful thing about we bring up the rest thing again. The Chiefs, outside of McCole Hardman, everybody were full participants. Everybody.
Well, dude, and another thing that people don't talk about enough too, when you're visiting stadiums like the legendary Chiefs, going to Arrowhead Stadium, you got to really simplify your offense, because you're gonna have to have a lot of silent counts, because it's gonna be so damn loud out there. So you're an offense that's been struggling all year, and the Texans, a quarterback that's been struggling for them to his standard as far as last year, to his standard, has been struggling all year, and now you're down several more weapons. You're banged up on the offensive side, and the offensive line has been bad all year, and now you got to go to a lot of silent calls, and you have to simplify and dumb your offense down a little bit. You can't really audible as much as you'd like to. If you see a blitz coming, it's hard. It's gonna be much harder to audible without getting delay a game. So this is just. It's going to be too much for the Texans, man, in my opinion. So
definitely agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Baca87 on YouTube. Serious question. Do you think Patrick has a hand in the Thuney starting over DJ? Kind of what we started the show with.
If I was to make my guess, and it is pure speculation, I'm going to say yes. I think that Patrick has, as he's getting older and he's becoming more of who he is, which is a mogul, an icon, not only in the city, but in the nation, the world. I think that Andy Reid's going to start giving him more trust as far as what he thinks and what he feels about, the investment of certain individuals on the roster, roster moves, roster acquisitions, draft picks. I think there's going to be a lot of that. Now, I'll be real with you. Some of the moves and decisions that Patrick's been a part of, I haven't really liked as much, but he's also learning. He's also understanding the evaluation of players and the players that he'll have around him. But I don't necessarily blame Patrick if this is what he did. I just question whether this is the best course of action for the entire offense, and I will hold to that opinion until I feel otherwise, which, guys, you know me. I am not somebody that stands foolishly on my stance. If I see things nuanced, if I see some new information come in, I will change my opinion, because I'm not a fucking idiot. I'm not ignorant to a situation. Well, I can be a fucking idiot, but I'm not fucking ignorant. Never about that, okay? Give me that at least. I will change my opinion if I am wrong. And I'm willing to be proven wrong. I hope I'm proven wrong, because if Thuney kills it, Patrick doesn't get touched today, and Cal Leoto's balling, what the fuck am I going to say?
Yeah, Pacheco.
I'll be like, great.
Pacheco still managed, or Kareem Hunt still managed to go off.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, they were obviously, because what did I say at the beginning of the show, Trevor? I disagree, but they know best.
Yeah,
they do. They know way better than I do. It's just an opinion of mine. So if they're right, I mean, great. I'd rather them be right than me be right. Do you think I like?
Well, yeah, we want this to be the right decision.
Yeah.
That translates to dubs.
Trip,
So,
do you think I wanted to be right last year when they passed up on D-Hop? No! I didn't want to be right about the wide receiver room, but I fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
And it was tough for them to win. I want to be wrong. Like, I'm literally hoping I'm wrong today. I hope Thuney kills it. I hope Caliendo kills it. That's what I'm hoping for, man. So, yeah, I do think that Patrick, long story, yeah, he does have a lot to do with, I think, this, if you were to ask me my opinion.
Yeah. Clear the air with E. I like this question. Speak it. Who scores the first TD for the Chiefs today?
I want you to answer that one.
Travis Kelce.
I 100% agree.
Travis Kelce. I think it'll be our opening drive. I think our first opening scripted drive is going to be incredible. I think it's going to be a lot of Kelce right out the gate. I think they're going to try to feed him early to kind of start working towards those records. Not necessarily because of that reason, but just because of
it's a part of it,
like matchup reasons wise as well. And it kind of just give that defense an oh shit moment that this guy might just fucking do it himself today.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to have something a lot of plays drawn up for Kelce to start the game off to kind of get his juices going. You get that guy going, he's the heart and soul of this team. So, it's Travis Kelce for me. I just think that makes all the sense. So if you want to sprinkle a few dollars on that, you can make nice, decent little profit. First touchdown score is always fun to bet on. But
hell yeah,
for me, man, it lines up perfectly to be Kelce in my opinion. Let's see, Dustin Orton, is it confirmed Flowers isn't playing?
Well, he was doubtful all week. He hasn't practiced.
Yeah,
he's not playing. I would imagine if he at least was like a limited participant at Friday's practice, he would give it a go. We haven't even heard like that he's a game time decision. Like Jay Glazer and guys like that, they're usually on top of that stuff. They've reported nothing about him warming up for the game.
It's been very quiet like the whole time.
Yeah, I don't think
he hasn't practiced all week. Yeah, he's not going to.
I don't think he plays, guys.
No, and nor would they. Should they? I mean, I know this is win or go home, but it was a pretty bad knee injury.
Yeah,
you're thinking about the kid's future too.
He's lucky he didn't tear some shit.
He's a pivotal player for
right.
Them,
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So Dustin Orton follows that up with: if it came down to keeping one and trading one, who are you choosing, Trey Smith or Trent McDuffie? You already know Lance's answer. You already know my answer.
Who asked this question? The Dustin. God damn it, Dustin. Orton, man. Listen, dude. Okay. Let me just answer the question by simply addressing a fact. Offensive line is far more important than cornerbacks on a team that's winning championships. You would agree, Trevor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Trey Smith is a more important piece to this puzzle than Trent McDuffie, and that's not a knock on Trent McDuffie. It is evaluating the position. And I would rather have, because we just got done, Trevor, having this long conversation about making sure we protect Patrick Mahomes, right? Okay, well, let's go with that then. And let's keep the guys in place that have been doing that for the last 4 years. And Trey Smith's one of the best at it. So how about we keep that guy, and I think there's a better chance, because we also know, Trevor, that one of the things that Brett Veach has struggled with is drafting and developing offensive linemen at times. Sure. One thing he hasn't been bad at, in fact, has been incredible at, is drafting and developing cornerbacks. For whatever reason, Brett Veach knows cornerbacks, and he has nailed it more times than he hasn't. So I would have a faith and belief that there's a great chance they replace McDuffie before they replace Trey Smith. So I'm going Trey Smith based on that logic.
I'm going Trent McDuffie here because I feel like the initial investment that these guys were given, when you draft a corner that high, that you tend to know that you're probably going to invest in him. And I think he's superseded all the expectations they had when they drafted him. He's been an all-pro, Pro Bowler. A guy he's continually getting better. Is starting to get interceptions now, so fucking look out,
man.
Once he starts doing that, I mean, this guy he's top 2 at the position in this league, top 2, top 3. Him, Surtain, and Stingley. Those are the best 3 corners in the game right now. So, I think you pay those kind of guys, and I know I typically don't pay the corners, but if it came down to him and Trey Smith, I look at the contrast difference in initial investment. Obviously, they both have succeeded or superseded their expectations coming into this league because Trey was a 5th round pick.
6th
round picks, yeah.
Well, based on only because he had that blood clot injury.
Yeah, of course. But they got him a later investment, lesser investment, I guess I should say, compared to what they did with Trent. They traded up to go get Trent, and that's a guy you're going to pay, and I think the Chiefs are going to pay him. I think he's a true guy that they want to keep around, and I think that's one of those guys you invest in. I know Trey Smith is as well, man. It's tough. This is a tough question. Honestly, I won't be upset if they go one way or the other. I really won't be upset. They choose it because both guys are going to demand top tier money at their positions, and guards are starting to get money. Yeah. So Trey's going to be expensive, and Trent's going to be real expensive. especially for a volatile position. But he is a guy that's incredible at that volatile position, right? And I think he will be for another 4, 5, 6 years. So I would not be upset if they went either way. But my choice, I'm going Trent McDuffie, because you guys know I'm a Trent guy, so that's my dude.
Julia Goulet said Lance letting McDuffie go. Shocker. I hate it.
Just killed the bone.
I have to live with it now, man, because I guess I have this like notorious reputation now that I'm like an anti-McDuffie guy.
Logically, it makes sense with what you say about Spags and Veach, how they've found guys. I mean, look at Jalen Watson. Look how stoked we are to get Jalen Watson back, and no one even really knew who he was for the most part coming into the draft. He's been a very important player. For us.
Imagine the inverse, right? Like imagine if Brett Veach has been killing it and drafting offensive linemen, but he sucks at getting cornerbacks, and they went and got McDuffie out of pure luck. I'd be like, you gotta keep that guy because he sucks at drafting cornerbacks. Yeah. I would be on your side completely. I just think that, and I hate to say this, dude, because I know McDuffie is so good and so great.
I think he's a pillar player for this defense.
I mean,
I just don't think that's a guy you can let walk.
I just feel like there's more McDuffies out there than there are Trey Smiths.
I disagree.
You know what I mean? Because, like, okay, the direct value, the value of having a direct line of protection for your $500 million quarterback, to me, is more important than having a cornerback.
I think you can go. I think you can replace a guard better than you can an all-pro corner.
What I'm saying is the value of having the guy you know every single Sunday is there and is great is so much more valuable than...
Who do you think's tougher to replace, Joe Thuney or Trey Smith? Because we won a Super Bowl.
Joe Thuney.
We won a Super Bowl with Allegretti taking Joe Thuney's spot.
Yeah, but okay,
that's more replaceable than Trent.
That was a pinch, though. That wasn't a full season.
That was like a Super Bowl run. Bro.
I'm not taking it away from Allegretti. He got him paid.
Yeah,
I'm saying though,
he's
like
good.
Allegretti, but to Allegretti's defense, was easily. He's so good at a backup.
Bro,
he's now a starter for a team in the postseason.
Yeah.
So Allegretti was really good.
So we had him sitting as a rotational guy. So we can obviously find guards too, man.
Right. Okay. How often do you have Allegretti just sitting around?
Do you have an All-Pro top 3 corner?
That's also fair. My point though is the Chiefs have not before McDuffie.
Here we go again.
Before McDuffie. God damn it, Dustin. Before McDuffie, Trevor, the Chiefs won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah. No.
They never had an All-Pro quarterback before him.
Well, I mean. We had L'Jarius Sneed here, who was really good. We had
they won one Super Bowl.
Travarius Ward was a hell of a player.
Huh?
We had Travarius Ward, who got
but
paid.
L'Jarius Sneed was a 4th-round pick. He was not an All-Pro player. He's never been an All-Pro player.
Sure.
My point is, it's great to have All-Pro players at cornerback. Yeah. It's more important to have that at your positions that protect your quarterback, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For me, it's just like the Chiefs traded up to go get Trent. I think they knew you going in, you investing in a guy that early. I think you know that there's going to be a future investment in him as well. Trey Smith was kind of let's see what we can do with this guy. And he's obviously superseded his expectations. But I just think we could find more guards in the draft than going to find another Trent McDuffie, in my personal opinion.
Well, the Chiefs were lucky to have Trey Smith sitting there in the 6th round. He had a 1st-round grade on him.
But that's also
he was a badass.
That's also brilliant due diligence by Brett Veach, a guy that I believe can do that again at the guard position, in my opinion. So
we're leaving it there.
Either way, I will not be mad if they go on. I will be heartbroken if Trent's not a Chief next year if he gets paid somewhere else or we trade him or whatever. That'd be heartbreaking to me because I love the guy. I think he's a do-it-all.
We're leaving it there.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's the answer.
Trevor got the final word. I don't give a shit. I'm going to be right. I'm going to be wrong.
It's a fun question. Mac10 on YouTube. Which RB is going to have the most usage this playoffs, Hunt or Pacheco, and which receiver will break out? I've got money on Hollywood Brown. It's a pick your position, in my opinion. Pick your poison.
I would say, I think Pacheco gets the bulk. I think that Kareem Hunt's going to be a short distance running back, a goal line kind of guy.
That's his strength, man. Yeah.
That's what he's evolved in, and I think that Kareem, when called upon, can answer the call. But let's be real. This season, Kareem Hunt only averaged around 3.5, 3.6 yards per carry. I think right around there. That's not very good. Pacheco for his career average is like 4.6 or 4.7. I just think that Pacheco being the younger running back who's more spry. Has more, I think he has more mileage on him left.
Oh, he's a game breaker.
Yeah,
we've seen what he did against the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Yeah, that guy is a game breaker.
And let's give Pacheco some real credit here.
His numbers in the postseason.
He's never not won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and he's never not had, I think, less than 60, 70 rushing yards in a game.
Yes, he's always been a baller in the postseason. Yeah. Oh, like I bring up the Jaguars game when Patrick got hurt, left the game. Everyone gives Chad Henne all the credit.
Yeah, Pacheco.
You know who carried them down that field? It was Pacheco and Travis Kelce. Those were the dudes. Like Pacheco had that 48-yard run.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, we don't know what happened.
Chad Henne had a nice little scramble himself too.
That was against the Browns. That was against the Browns.
Oh, yeah, it was the Browns.
The point I'm making is Chad Henne did his job, sure, but Pacheco was the star.
Yeah.
He showed up. He's like, all right, I got to go make a big play. And he got a 48-yard rush down the sideline and they switched fields.
He should get the bulk. In my opinion.
Yes, I will say Pacheco. When it comes to breakouts, I'm actually gonna disagree a little bit, Trevor. I can't believe I'm saying this. I think it's Xavier Worthy.
Okay.
And the biggest reason why is because these NFL teams are not stupid. They know who to go after now because they've seen Hollywood Brown now in this offense. Whoa. They're like, we're going to make sure that guy doesn't go off. D-Hop, we're going to make sure that guy doesn't go off. And Xavier Worthy's going to be like, bet, I get quarterback 3.
Well, he's the one that ate them up the last match.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I think Xavier Worthy can have himself a breakout postseason.
I would love that.
So I'm going to say Pacheco. I'm going with the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
I'm going with Pacheco and Xavier.
I like Pacheco to get the bulk of the work, but I do think Kareem's going to have the more noteworthy plays, though, in my opinion.
That's fair.
I think there's going to be some important third and shorts where he's just going to bulldoze his way. That's his specialty. He's a guy that's always going to move forward. So short yardage stuff, give the ball to Kareem every time. That's my opinion.
I'll go with that.
So I think he can have some big third down conversions, and I think he's going to score. So he get down the goal line. I think he's the guy that would give the ball to because I trust him honestly to punch the ball in before I would to Pacheco. They're just two different kind of backs, and I think a bruiser is Kareem's specialty. But as far as receivers go, you already know my take on the show all day. I think this is a Hollywood day. I think this is a game that could possibly get him paid in the future. I think he's going to have a really, really good postseason in general, but I think today he goes absolutely nuclear as far as what he's been able to do in the Chiefs uniform as of yet. I think he's going to get 10 to 11 targets. I think he's going to have 8 to 9 catches for maybe 100 yards and a score. I think he has his best game as a Chief. But I could definitely see Xavier repeating what he did to them last game. That'd be awesome. And D-Hop could definitely go get a score or two in this. Yeah. I think D-Hop has a chance to score in this game, especially against his old team. He would enjoy that thoroughly. But yeah, man, those are my guys. Next one, James T. Kirk. Lance, you said it before. You hope the Chiefs get a domed stadium. Houston is 0-4 in cold weather games. Chiefs with Mahomes is 6-1. With your wish, we lose the advantage. Thoughts?
Oh, I think it's a lot of mental gymnastics right there.
The advantage is having Patrick Mahomes.
Well, yeah.
So there's that.
Because, I mean, let's be real, guys. If I asked you a question, who would you rather have, David Garrard or Peyton Manning?
Well, have you seen Patrick Mahomes' numbers in a dome?
Exactly. Thank you, Trevor. I was literally
His numbers are
warming up to that. But you literally, yeah, thank you. Okay, David Garrard played more outdoor games than Peyton Manning probably did. Yeah. Peyton Manning played in a dome. Who are you taking?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here? What I'm saying is the dome, I don't want to go through the whole thing again. But
it's a factor, without question.
Guys, my belief in football is the same belief that follows suit for all sports. I want the games to be dictated by the players and the execution of the players and coaches, right? That is what I think all games should be dictated by. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, the NFL still believes that snow and rain and all these climates should play a part in the games, and I vehemently disagree. I think that every stadium, including warm cities, should have domes or retractable roofs because of the fact that there are teams, like you just mentioned in your own point, James T., that there are guys and teams that are not built for other inclement weather. That is not a fair advantage in the area of competition. Every stadium should have the exact same conditions, so the best team wins fair and square. I don't want to see a team that has a flashy style to them have to go and lose a playoff game because they played in inclement weather. That's not right, dude. Because that flashy style could work had they played in a dome as opposed to that weather. So I think that it should be fair and square. Let the players and the execution of the players and coaches be what dictates. Not, well, we had a really good team. We won 14 games this year, but they played in snow more than we did, and we just couldn't adjust. That's not right. Weather should not dictate outcomes of games, and we've seen them even this year. And that's going against my own predictions of the Rams. They benefited off that game against the 49ers because the 49ers weren't built to play in that type of weather, whereas the Rams had the healthier team that could run the ball better. Remember that game? It was just a few weeks ago. The Rams they needed to throw the ball in that game. Yeah. But the ball kept slipping out of his damn hands. He had no running backs. He should have been able to throw the ball, but he couldn't because it was wet as shit. Matt Stafford just kept handing over to Kyron Williams. They killed him. They won.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I want the games to be decided in dry 70-degree temperatures. Is that wrong? I don't understand.
No, it's an arcade, in my rebuttal to this would be the home field advantage doesn't start in the postseason. The home field advantage is always the home field advantage when you come to Arrowhead. And why is that? Because we have the loud as hell Chiefs fans out there every single game.
It's because of the weather.
It's not the weather. It is obviously the stadium is the stadium, but the advantage is having Patrick Mahomes, having Andy Reid, and having the crowd that shows out our fans are incredible, right? They've been, since I can remember, since I've been alive, even during the shitty days, we had great home field advantage just because our fans are incredible and we're loud as hell. Put those same fans in a dome. How much louder do you think that's going to be?
Well, if it was the weather, Trevor, that paid dividends on the Chiefs winning all those games and stuff like that,
Yeah.
why did the 2000 Chiefs and the Alex Smith era Chiefs not win a single playoff game at Arrowhead?
Yeah, the weather, it is a factor to a degree, but that's not the Arrowhead. That's not an Arrowhead advantage.
Yeah.
It's not.
I feel like we're having two different conversations when it comes to advantages. I think league-wide, we should figure out having retractable roofs and domes. When it comes to advantages, it's like you said, it's Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.
It's the fans, too, man. Our fans are incredible. Our fans are loud as hell, bro. Everybody talks about it. And you think the noise is on top of you in the bowl-shaped old school Coliseum style stadium that we
bull-shaped.
So I mean, I can imagine that noise being that on top of you that much more inside of a dome or any kind of semblance of a roof.
No.
So I mean, I'm cool with it either way, in my personal opinion, because I love the lore. But I mean, eventually we're going to get a new stadium, and that new stadium is most likely going to come with a retractable
And in
roof
Kansas.
or a roof. Kansas would be nice. Come on over, Julia Gulia. Who do you think isn't coming back next year?
As far as like general, just like
The guys that are on, the end of their contracts, like maybe like a Trey Smith or a McDuffie, maybe. If we
well, McDuffie has another year.
Right.
Look,
We could
it
trade him
is starting to look more and more like Trey Smith is probably going to test out free agency, and he's going to get absolutely paid. I hope that the Chiefs can figure something out, but as I stand firm on this, I think if Joe Thuney's back next year, Trey Smith's not.
Yeah.
But if let's say Joe Thuney's like, you know what? I've had myself one hell of a career. I'm going to retire. I think Trey Smith's back. I think the Chiefs do spend that money and get him back because I don't think they want to lose both of their starting guards and then start over like that. I definitely don't see that being the case. But I do think that Nick Bolton's gone. I definitely think this is his last go with the Chiefs. That's not popular with a lot of Chiefs fans, but guys, listen, there's only so much money you can spend.
Can't keep them all, man.
And let's be real, man. Middle linebacker is just not a position you spend big money on when you have a team like this. If you have a young developing team and you need a veteran middle linebacker to kind of carry the load of your defense, sure, go crazy. You have like a profoundly great middle linebacker like a Luke Kuechly, Ray Lewis. Yeah, you're gonna probably spend money on them. No disrespect to Nick Bolton, he's not those guys. He's a very good linebacker, very good. And he deserves to get paid. Just not here in Kansas City. He's going to go somewhere. He's going to make $16 to $17 million a year, and I'm going to be happy for him because he's going to have 3 rings on his fingers, and I'm happy for him about that as well.
Yeah,
that's going to put him probably in the Hall of Fame. He keeps racking up tackles. But right now, the value of this is what I tell when it comes cornerbacks, comes to middle linebackers. You can't pay every position, guys. The Chiefs are going to have to pick and choose where to pay their players, and they already have all their money invested in Chris Jones right now. They're going to continue to develop a younger defense until the Chris Jones era is done, and they're going to reconfigure who to build their defense around. But right now, it's clearly still Chris Jones. They're not going to spend X amount of dollars on another veteran middle linebacker. It's not going to happen.
I got you. I agreed. One more question from James T. Kirk Franklin. What are your game day? He caught that. Stomp, baby. What are your game day meals post game or during the game? I usually eat after the game. Ooh, fasting during the game.
What I do, so Trevor knows, I don't eat when the team is playing. Halftime, I gorge.
Depending on how the game's going. Sometimes my appetite's gone, but most games, my appetite's.
I will say, Trevor and I, we usually watch games with family.
Yeah.
We usually have an assortment of good queso dip.
I believe today we're having chili with the fam. So.
By God, that sounds great. So I'm gonna be really James T. You don't get a figure like mine and be picky. I like carbs. I like meat. So if those two meet together, I'm gonna tear that shit up. I will say my favorite things to eat for games. Wings.
Lance 1, meat 0.
Yeah, Tommy want wingy. No, I love wings. I love drums in particular. Bone-in drums. Yeah. Give me a big old vat of ranch, and I'm scooping that shit. I'm tearing that shit up, dude. Give me some mango habanero wings. Pizza is always a great go-to. I think it's easy because you just pick a slice up and knock it back. Stuff like that. Simple stuff, bar food. I'm not a picky guy, dude.
I'm a chips and dip kind of guy too. I mean, and the shout out to my sister-in-law Brittany. She makes a fire chicken buffalo chicken dip, and that shit is so clutch. I don't know if she's making any today, but I mean, I'm pretty sure during the Super Bowl,
fucking hope
if we get a Super Bowl, she'll have a big batch of it.
Big batch.
But yeah, I like chips and guac and salsa, things like that. Tacos for sure.
Trevor always gets good cookies too.
Yeah, cookies are always a go-to for sure. But yeah, when it comes to game day, I think wings and pizza are like the traditional kind of go-to American way. But yeah, I like chips and dip. That's kind of my go-to as well. Good question, fun question.
Yeah, now I'm fucking hungry. Thanks,
I know, bro.
JT.
Bubbling over here. Julia Gulia, how is the Texans beating up the Chargers relevant to the Chiefs, like at all?
It's not. Look, I know that there's been this narrative out there that people think that the Chargers are a lot like the Chiefs. They're not. Jim Harbaugh is a great coach. But guys, if this didn't prove anything to you that Justin Herbert is not him.
He's a great quarterback, man, just not in the postseason, man.
And I got killed for this take 3 years ago.
So talented. It's,
remember,
it's so wild.
Remember
man.
I said this on this show, and ironically, Kyle Henning was on the show with this when I brought it up. Justin Herbert is an elite talent. He is not an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
There is a difference. Guys.
It is crazy, man.
There is a massive difference between an elite talent and an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Those are elite quarterbacks. The best of the best. Justin Herbert is not in that class. And that is why the Texans did what they did. You know why? Because Justin Herbert shit himself once again in the postseason. We've seen now 2 postseason games.
Justin Sherbert.
Yeah, exactly. Justin Shispert. He shissed his pants.
Melting out there.
Bruh, I'm telling you, dude, he needs to wear a diaper from here on. Maybe he'll get like a Huggies sponsorship. Yeah, it depends. Sponsorship. He really helps out the old folks with that
I can
one.
shit my pants.
Yeah, I'm Justin Herbert. I shit myself during postseason games primarily. But look at it. Not to go on this Justin Herbert tangent. What's the Justin Herbert game? What's the one because we can think of 85 Patrick Mahomes moments. We can think of 40 Josh Allen moments. We can think of 80 Lamar Jackson moments. What's Justin Herbert's moment? What? The only thing I can think of is tragedy.
Choke artist.
Yeah, going up 27-0 and losing to the Jaguars, throwing 4 picks in one game, and he had 3 for the whole season.
That was
Justin Herbert had 4 interceptions in that game in that one postseason game. That's the same amount that Patrick Mahomes had in his first 8 postseason games. Think about that. Nice. So, look, man, the Texans, all respect to them. I have nothing but respect for the Texans. They went out there and they won that game. They forced turnovers. They got to Justin Herbert. They were very, very effective on defense. But that adrenaline dump at home in front of your home crowd, now trying to transition that over 1 week from then to go to Arrowhead in 20-degree weather.
Yeah.
I just don't see how that correlates at all. It just doesn't to me.
It doesn't. I mean, it was a great game by the Texans. Their defense. But if we're being honest, when you watch that game, Stroud wasn't very good. He was good for about a quarter in that game. Yeah. One scramble play where he made that downfield throw on a whim after he dropped the initial snap. That was insane. That was a great play. That's just a guy that has the intangibles to be a great quarterback in this league, and I think he does have that. But outside of that play, there was only a couple other plays after that Stroud made. But overall, I wasn't too impressed with the Texans. The defense obviously went off, but that was more of a just absolute choke job by Herbert. Just putting the ball in just dangerous situation after dangerous situation, just trying to make plays, and that game was just gifted to the Texans in my opinion. After the wheels kind of fell off, it was over pretty quickly in that second half. But yeah, it has no relevance because we will find out here soon in the next few hours why that is. Julia Gulia follows that up with, how did our cornerback room get so thin when I thought it was our strongest? Also, when do we start drafting defensive tackles in the first round?
Well, hopefully that's this year. I will have my first mock draft for you guys by the end of February.
Jones ain't getting any younger, man.
Very, very excited about this. But yes, they didn't draft heavily. They need to invest heavily in DNs and defensive tackles these next couple of drafts for sure. That's why I told you guys that I would like to see the Chiefs maybe trade a current player on their roster that can get them a couple picks and add that to the equation so they can have
Trey McDuffie being that guy most likely. You get the most for.
Yeah, I mean,
I
will say that's
that
the
could
truth.
happen.
I'm not saying that's who I'm going with, but I'm saying that's the truth.
Yeah.
But I do want to see them have a 2022 draft again where they get 10 picks and they can just go and get whoever the hell they want. And
you can get Hall for Trey McDuffie if he's a 3-time champ already.
Could you imagine what they get from Trey McDuffie?
Dude.
You're getting.
I know.
I think right now, and Kyle Henning, if you're listening, bro, or you're watching, please correct me on this, or John Harrison, somebody.
Yeah.
I truly think that you could get a borderline top 10 pick for Trey.
I would do that. And I know
Absolutely.
I'm a Trent guy, but if I know we can get that kind of haul for Trent,
If you can get like a top 12 pick for Trent McDuffie,
I would do it.
Fuck
and especially
yes.
we know we can invest that into the defensive line.
Oh.
Or go grab another DB.
Or you can go get like the best left tackle in the draft.
We got
or,
guys like Jamari Connor and Hicks
Oh,
out here that are
dude.
something too. Yeah.
If you can get a top 10 to 12 pick for
That's
Trent,
just
you
smart.
have to
That's
do
just
it.
smart management.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to say that's what's
That's
going to happen
reality.
or what I think is going to happen. I'm just saying that I think that they need to get as many picks as possible of these next two drafts. I'd like to see the Chiefs get anywhere from like 18 to 22 picks of these next two drafts because when Veach gets to just like start throwing darts on the board, he starts hitting.
Oh yeah,
dude, that 2022 draft. Go look at that. 7 starters he got in that draft. 7 starters, and the one before that got Trey Humphrey, Trey Smith, and Noah Gray. Like he cooked for those 2 years. Give him as many picks as possible. That's what I want to see. And I think that, like I said, drafting around Chris Jones, give him some young, motivated talent on rookie deals. Oh, my God, would that motivate Chris Jones? If you give him one nasty dude in the middle of that line that has like 325 pounds on him, it's like 6'6", and then you give him like a DN that can compete with George Karlaftis because George Karlaftis is going to be coming up for a contract, which is going to motivate him. Dude, you're talking about a nasty front seven. All of a sudden, man, it's reconfigured. So I'm with Julia 100% on that. When it comes to the cornerback position, listen, it's going to be it's going to be a revolving door constantly because they're not going to be paying a lot of these guys. And to the defense of the Chiefs, they've been suffering some injuries at that position.
Yeah, 15-2. Also,
you know what I'm saying, though? Like, your question's valid.
Yeah.
The question is valid, but there is context to it. They've had injuries, and they've had some, guys depart. They lost L'Jarius Sneed.
Of course.
Jalen Watson was hurt. Josh Williams sucks ass. Like, there's just things that happen. But the good thing is the guys that are there, that are continuums, are guys that are badasses. Jaden Hicks is a stud. Justin Reed's having a good season.
Yeah.
Trent McDuffie is elite. Like, the guys that are there are staples.
Yeah.
So at least they hit on that. Like, we're not having a guy out there every week that's like, God damn it. Like, he's killing us every week. Our defense sucks now because of this guy. That isn't happening. You know what I mean? Like, we're not having a Phillip Gaines situation.
Oh.
Najee Johnson is basically on the bench now,
Yeah.
dude. Because he was becoming
it was a
that
tough
guy.
situation for him though. But
I felt bad, but he was.
You got to be out there. You got to perform, man.
He
But yeah.
sucked. Let's just be real. So,
Well,
yeah.
and we weren't getting enough pressure up front either. That doesn't help your DBs at all.
God
either.
damn
So
it.
investing into the defensive line will help the corners as well. So.
Dude, just Julie Galecia. Lance keeps walking McDuffie to the door.
Yeah.
No, it was presented to me through Trevor on a trade acquisition.
It is an
I
opportunity.
promise.
It is an opportunity that could present itself this very next season.
Yeah,
That
but
could-
Julie, I want Julie to answer that. Anybody else can answer that. Either you pay
can-
Trent
yeah.
McDuffie $88 million,
get a haul in return.
or you go and get a top 10, 12 pick.
If we win the Super Bowl this year, he's a 3-time champ, back to back to back, and all pro. Someone's going to give up the.
And I know it's not
fucking-
usually good business to not pay your first round picks
Right.
after their first deal.
I think it's most likely we do pay Trent, but yes.
More than likely, you're right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if you know that you can refurbish this defense with a top 10 pick,
We can get a similar to like Tyreek kind of situation. Obviously,
Oh.
maybe not as much as that. That was a lot, but
I would even just take the top 10 pick.
yeah.
Like a 1-for-1, but that wouldn't happen. There would be like a
Right.
pick swap in the 5th round or something.
Yeah.
Like that cheap
and maybe a
piece
piece,
and whoever.
and
yeah.
maybe another piece in
yeah.
return too.
There'd be pieces flying on that
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
But if you could give me the top 10 pick for a 25, 26-year-old Trent McDuffie, dude, sign me the hell up. That's not saying I wouldn't. If we didn't and we keep Trent McDuffie, great. Because Trent McDuffie's awesome. I love him. But I'm just saying, guys, we got to look for the future, too. Because if you want to keep winning Super Bowls, you have to make future decisions that are tough. Like not paying Nick Bolton. Like not paying cornerbacks.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to make sacrifices. But we know that Brett Veach, if you guys all want to tell me trust in Veach, okay, let's do it. He can replace Nick Bolton. He can replace Trent McDuffie. He can replace a Trey Smith, hopefully.
If we win a three-peat, I mean, I'm not questioning.
Yeah, if they lose Trey Smith to this point, because I don't want to just keep putting it on your guys' side.
Yeah.
If, let's say, on my end, if they don't pay Trey Smith, I believe that Brett Veach can replace him.
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be more difficult.
Well, either one can be replaced because
Yes.
that's how great Brett Veach has been.
I just think it'd be more difficult because you don't find, like I said, Trey Smith to just cohesively
especially
work
where you got
day
him.
one.
Especially where you got him in the draft, not having to invest a top 3 pick
Yeah,
in a guy
him
like
and Freddie
that.
Humphrey
He's a top
started
3 kind of pick.
day one together. They're a duo. You know what I mean? Like I just don't want to see that break up. But it's a business. It happens.
Yeah, I get you. Let's see here. Bump a BB. Should the Chiefs bring back Omenihu? Don't know if he'll ever get back to his explosive after the ACL. He's been good since he's been back, man. He's gradually gotten better. I honestly, I love Chucky. I call him Chucky. Charles Minhu. I love that guy. I love his style of play. He's a perfect Spags player. That long, lanky guy that can bat balls and has a really good get off of the line.
He batted my balls on Twitter this offseason.
I don't think he's going to be back next year, though. As much as I love him, I think he really wants to get paid another big contract. He kind of made that pretty clear this past offseason, was bitching a lot. No offense. It is right. He's confident in himself, and he's been a good player, really good player for us when he's available. We've seen guys like him. He's a Carlos Dunlap-esque type of player, similar player. That's why I liked him, because he fit that role right after we kind of lost Carlos Dunlap, who was a solid player for us at the time, long, lanky guy. But my personal opinion, I don't think he's going to be back next year. I think he's a guy that we'll replace, and we'll try to draft, or maybe find another guy in free agency. But I think he could be, but I think he wants to get money, in my opinion.
It's all up to him, Minhu. If he wants to get paid, he's not staying in Kansas City.
Right.
I think there are going to be a couple teams out there that would be willing to pay him close to what he's looking for, and I don't believe it's going to be the Chiefs. I think right now the Chiefs, at best, give him a 1-year deal worth like $11-12 million. Yeah. And I think that's more than fair, given how much time he's missed since being here. Now, he has been awesome when he's played for the Chiefs, but that's been far and few between.
Yeah.
I think he's only played, 11-12 games in his entire Chiefs career. Like, that's not good. Over a 2-year stretch, it's not good. So he's missed over 50% of his games. But yeah, I mean, I would like to have him back, but for the right price. I just don't know if that price is going to be right for him, because when you're an edge rusher and you're 27 years old, people are going to be looking for you. There's going to be teams out there, and teams are going to be willing to spend. I bet the Bears, I bet the Panthers, I bet teams like that would be willing to spend. They'd probably give him a 3-year, $42 million deal, something like that. You know what I mean? So he's getting $15-ish million a year. I think that's probably what's going to happen.
For sure.
And that's okay.
Chiefs fan in Colorado. Does Pirine get 4+ receptions out of the backfield?
No.
I don't think so.
I think there's going to be situations where Pirine gets a third down here and there. I don't see 4 touches.
Only way I think that happens is if we're trailing.
Or if someone gets hurt.
As if we're trailing, we have to like throw the ball a shit ton, like 50 times.
Yeah.
He's probably his likely chance of getting 4 catches.
I know everyone's trying to make that correlation or the comparison of him being like the Jerick McKinnon of this team, which is I get it.
That could happen.
But here's the thing. But Jerick McKinnon was getting as much touch as he was that time because the Chiefs needed him to.
Yeah.
They had limited weapons.
And we didn't have a third back that we were playing either.
Yeah, the Chiefs aren't limited. The Chiefs aren't limited at weapons now.
Yeah.
The Chiefs have D-Hop, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelce,
and Pacheco's been getting better at catching balls too. They've been liking to kind of dumping it off to him and letting him eat too.
Yeah,
so
McKinnon was like in that perfect time where they needed him.
McKinnon was one of the best pass catching backs.
He was fun, man.
He was so good.
He was fun.
But yeah, I don't think I wouldn't bet on that. That would not be a bet that I would put out there. Lonnie Pyramid, is linebacker going to be a top priority as well?
No, I don't think, guys, they got Nick Bolton the 58th overall pick. And not that that's a late pick, but that's not, guys, when it's not a top 35-ish pick, that tells me that you had other priorities to go after.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs clearly do. Left tackle is going to have to be where they answer first and foremost. Obviously, pass rush. D-end, defensive tackle have got to be at the top of their list. And depending on what they do at cornerback, I'd like to see them go and invest in cornerback again in the 3rd or 4th rounds. Go and get another guy to add to the equation. So that's what I think they're going to look at before linebacker. They got Leo Chenal for another year. I think they're going to extend Leo Chenal.
Yeah.
I think they're going to extend Leo
Chenal. Too much
they have Drew Tranquil for I think at least one more year after that, and then he'll probably go his separate ways because he'll be 30 at that time. Yeah. But yeah, I think that right now as they're set there, they're planning on moving off of Nick Bolton because Nick Bolton's going to his defense, his next contract is going to be 3-4 years.
Yeah, John Harrison
$17 million a year.
He thinks the Patriots will probably pay him.
He
does seem like a good.
That's a great idea.
He seems like a Patriot.
Or a team that needs middle linebacker help that we're about to face right now, the Texans.
Yeah,
that's another team that could be in Nick Bolton's avenue.
Yeah, that's for sure. Let's see, Chiefs fan in Colorado. Do you think Spags gets a head coach offer, and if so, what team and who becomes our next DC?
We talked about this briefly last week. Yeah. I went into detail. I think that Spags is being wined and dined right now because of the respect he has in the league, because people love and respect Spags across the league. He's the GOAT DC, guys. He's the greatest DC who's ever lived. Yeah. But no, I do not anticipate that 66-year-old Steve Spagnuolo is going to be getting a head coaching offer because the majority of the teams that need a head coach right now have young, developing quarterbacks that need a coach to be around for the next 10 years. Yeah. And that is not Spags. Spags is not going to be around for another 10 years. And that is with all the respect and love that I have and admiration I have for that man. He's not going to be coaching in this league in any capacity in 10 years. he will be retired by the time he's probably 71, 72 years old, because I think he's going to retire with Andy Reid.
He's retired with 7 to 8 rings.
Yeah. I think him and Andy Reid in 2020 and 2030 are done. More than likely.
Yeah.
Because they'll both be in their 70s at that point. And I think that, like you said, Trevor, the Chiefs are probably going to win 6-7 rings in that period. And I'm being dead serious.
Well, he had 2 coming into the Chiefs. Anyway,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Spags, I think he's staying as the Chiefs DC for the rest of his career. And I know that sounds like, well, of course you're saying that because you're a Chiefs fan. No, guys, like, if Spags was going to get a head coaching job, I think he would have gotten it after 2019.
Yeah.
I think that when he saw, he helped, look what he's did. That 2018 Chiefs defense sucked ass.
Yeah.
He comes in there, changed it. They win the Super Bowl. Spags, we want you as our head coach. You're 62 years old.
Yeah.
We can do this. Didn't happen. He's not gotten one head coaching offer since being the Chiefs DC.
He ain't going to the fucking
He's not
Raiders
going, no.
either.
No.
The fact I know the Raiders are trying to like do this thing, but dude, Spags ain't going to the Raiders.
He's getting interviewed. Yes.
Yeah,
If you were to ask me, Lance, do you think he's going to keep getting interviewed? Yes. Yeah. But I think it's more of a cordial thing. And if we're being honest, these teams are going to be positioning people against themselves. Yeah. Hey, we just interviewed Steve Spagnuolo. I know he coached your dad.
Spags has got
they're like, I'll take the job. I'll take the job. You know what I mean? Like, that's what's going to happen.
Spags has got it made, bro.
Yes.
He's got a great spot over here, and this culture that we have here is just something you don't just leave. So yeah, especially if you're 3.
And also, Andy Reid treats Spags like a head coach. Yeah. He gets that kind of praise. He gets to run his defense as if he's a head coach.
Yeah, as if Dustin Orton is put on here too. Just to that point, real talk. Why would he leave? He is our defensive coordinator under a head coach who lets him do whatever he wants.
Exactly. Boom. You just said it from
free reign.
words.
Yeah. And Julia Gulia follows that up. But does Dave Merritt deserve the DC job after Spags? I think we touched on that last week, and I think me and Lance both came to an agreement that yes, if he would be a competent fill-in, at least for the time being, for a season or two, unless we find somebody else.
I think long term.
But I think, definitely long term. I mean, with the opportunity.
And I said to Trevor's point about we keep talking about McDuffie. Let's say Spags is gone this next year. 2025, Dave Merritt's the Chiefs DC.
Yeah.
100% sure McDuffie's getting resigned.
Yeah.
Because then there's a transition of how the Chiefs view their defense.
Especially with Chris Jones on his way out, most likely.
Dave Merritt is more of he is a cornerbacks guy.
Yeah.
The defense would start to transition towards, hey, let's start stacking our DBs.
When Dave Merritt was pounding the table for McDuffie as well.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that's the way they would go. I definitely think, because Andy Reid is notorious for hiring from within, I think that Dave Merritt would 100% be the Chiefs' next
Keep that
DC.
culture alive, man. Sometimes you can bring in bad,
I'll be shocked.
apple.
I'll be shocked that Dave Merritt is around very much longer in Kansas City,
true.
because I think that somebody's going to pluck him, dude.
I mean, we're consistent. I mean, look at all the interviews our roster of coaches have been getting. And front office people have been getting.
The Niners wanted him bad, man.
Yeah.
They wanted him bad as their DC. And it sounded like Robert Saleh might be back as Niners DC. He might be going back.
Oh, yeah. That'd be a great
Makes
sign.
a lot of sense.
They need him back there. Alani Pyramid with the final one here. I hope the spoken is as pumped as I am for this whole. I said this one for last. I hope the spoken is as pumped as I am for this whole playoff dance to begin. Let's fucking go.
Fuck yeah, man.
I felt like that was a good way to end the people here. That was a. Yeah, we're hyped, bro.
Well, you can't see it if you were standing in front of me, but I can't stand up right now. So I'm excited as fuck, dude. This whole day has been awesome. I've been up literally since like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And on Saturdays I like to try to catch some Z's, but I could not sleep. Or I slept great last night, but I woke up early and I immediately got to work on some extra notes that I wanted to put in today's show, because this show, obviously because of the divisional round and things of that nature are happening, the Chiefs are playing football, but it just coincidentally happens to be our 300th episode as this week commences. Yeah, I am so this whole show. I mean, I'm sweating right now, dude. I've been so jovial and excited for what we've been able to talk about and hang out with you guys. I look forward to that. Just hanging out with you guys is cool, because we wouldn't know each other otherwise. I always say that, like, if we weren't doing this show, if we weren't doing stuff like this, like, I wouldn't know any of you. You wouldn't know me, and that would suck, because we really look forward to talking to you guys every single week, man. Because you guys make our show what it is. Yeah. And man, I love this. I love this show. I love what we do here, and you guys are all very important people to us, man. We talk about you guys off air. Mostly we're talking shit. You know, like,
most of the time,
stupid motherfucking.
Yeah.
You know,
gotta do this shit again.
Yeah, James T. Kerr. I swear to
Another
God,
Saturday.
that guy comments one more time.
We've done this 300 times. What are we doing?
No, we love you guys, man. You guys are awesome. And so, speaking is my favorite part of the show. It feels like we're literally all just kind of hanging out at the table, you know, talking. That's my favorite thing in the world, is like when Trevor and I have people over, I'm at my absolute happiest. So when we do this show like this, that's where I'm at my absolute happiest as well. You guys make our lives better. So thank you guys for that.
Yep.
Trevor, we have one more order of business to get to for the 300th time on this show. What is it called?
Hold L. Each and every episode, we finish up every single episode with a series of L's in the world of sports. Whether those L's are friendly L's in the world of sports or not so friendly L's in the world of sports, we promise you, whoever is holding the L's in the world of sports deserve those L's in the motherfucking world of sports. Trevor Twidwell, who's holding the L for you this week?
So I know you guys saw the. I'm just gonna take some low hanging fruit here because it was a pretty blatant L for this man, this representer of Eagles fans. Ryan Caldwell is the man's name.
Douche.
I don't know if you guys. I mean, I'm sure almost everybody has seen it. It's been all over the waves, on the TV waves and the radio waves, and so on and so forth. But the man, I'm not going to play the clip because it's not worthy of playing, and it's more honestly you'd want to watch it more than you would hear it. But it's just vulgarity that's just absolutely inappropriate, especially when you're displaying weak masculinity when you're trying to berate a woman that's just trying to enjoy her time at a football game. Not sure how the guy I'm assuming she was with held his composure because, I mean, somebody would have been thrown down some steps if it was me in my case, and it would have been justified, and it would have been bad. But consistently calling this woman the C word, 4-letter words, right to her face, and then telling the man, what are you gonna do? Blah blah blah. Just a typical drunk asshole situation. And this is nothing new with Philly fans. No offense to my Philly people, I love you, but there's a lot of this is becoming a reputation for Philadelphia Eagle fans, unfortunately. And I know a lot of them don't like that. That's a reputation. That's I can imagine.
Yep.
But there's way too many occurrences now with a lot of Philly fans doing some shady shit, and it's just a bad look. And you got shit in every situation. Almost any professional event you go, professional sporting event you go to, there's always a scuffle. It tends to happen in football and baseball games more than it does. You never really see that in NBA games, hardly ever. But football and baseball games, there tends to almost always be fights some way. Whenever there's alcohol involved and egos involved. But this man was just berating a woman that was a Packers fan at the game. And it's just an embarrassing look. The man ended up losing his job over this clip as well, which is good for the company for doing that. He's a piece of shit. That's just not something a sane, masculine man that understands and is understands who he is and is comfortable who he is. This man is a weak person. Yep. So for him to do that and to do that to a woman nonetheless, it's just classless. And there's some work for the Philly fans got to do over there to kind of fix that reputation because it's kind of starting to pile up. It's an unfortunate thing, but I know he doesn't represent all Philly fans. I 100% I know that. I know several Philly fans myself personally. Great people. But this guy's a piece of shit. This guy's an asshole. He lost his job, and he deserves to lose his job for that. So forget his name. Caldwell, Mr. Caldwell. Do me a solid favor here, sir, and hold this L.
You know who else is going to hold an L this week is a guy that Trevor picked last week to win in Buffalo.
Oh, dude, I'm glad I almost did this one. I'm glad you're going there.
Yeah, something about zipper lips, man, that just gets me going sometimes. I can't get enough of old zipper lips.
This is a good 300 episode 300.
Yeah,
this is the spoken.
Yeah, I mean it's so beautiful, man. Because I told you guys when Sean Payton first went to Denver that I respect Sean Payton. He's been a hell of a coach in his career. He's never going to win another thing in his career. Jim Harbaugh got the job with the Chargers. I said the same thing. Great coach, never going to win another thing in his career. You signed up to play in Patrick Mahomes' division. You signed up for L's, and you're getting one today because of the fact that Sean Payton still found a way to be an arrogant prick after getting his beehole blasted in Buffalo, 31-7. Horrific game plan, play calling.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was all on him. It was horrible.
It was bad, yeah.
And he had the nerve. I wish I'd have made the video, Trevor, but I don't have it. I'm just going to give you the quote from Will Peterson.
Such a good quote.
Sean Payton just said the Broncos felt, quote, real good about playing the Chiefs this weekend if they had gotten there. That quote will make the rounds, and I don't disagree with him. Will Peterson, you're a fucking idiot. Because that is maybe the most egregious thing that I think that Sean Payton could have said after losing a game in the fashion that he did. Trevor, had the Broncos taken the Bills to the brink, let's say it's like a last-second field goal,
yeah,
I would have let this slide. I'm like, you know what? The Chiefs won by a block off,
moral
field goal. And then they took the Bills to the brink on the road and Bo Nix's first postseason game. You know what, Sean Payton, I'm going to let you have that one. You got your ass beat, dude. You got embarrassed. And it was on full display that you don't know how to use your quarterback. The man had 82 yards for the rest of the game after your first drive, which, by the way, looked pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And then you went away from everything that was working. That's on you, Sean. And you have the nerve, the gall, the vitriol, the tenacity to come into this and say that you felt good about beating a team that's actually advanced in the postseason. This is like Bengals energy here. You're not around anymore. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that Week 18 game got really to his head for sure.
I'm sure, Trevor, there was teams that like LeBron and Michael Jordan beat early in the postseason and said, well, we had beaten the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. I was feeling really good about that. Why'd you lose?
Yeah, that's a loser mentality take, man.
Why couldn't you get there? Huh, Sean?
Sean,
where you at? Jonathan? Zipper lips, where you at? Oh, that's right. You're on your ass, on your couch, about to watch the Chiefs beat the Texans. Enjoy, fella. And while you're there, go get me a soda and a sandwich. And when you come back, I got something for you. And it's to hold this L.
Hold it.
Fuck. I had to listen to it a couple times. I could not believe the man said it. Couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. But you know what? What I can believe is this was a fun fucking show, man.
John Harrison said, please don't stand up.
I'm not, well, you wouldn't see it anyway, like I said, but just take my word for it, it's there. All right, Johnny? The point is,
imagination, John.
Yeah, just go on with
or
it.
Don't.
Or just stay away from it.
It's probably better in your head.
Don't touch it. Listen, we have had, there's no other really way to put it. I mean, I always try to find new like superlatives or, funny things to say about it, but it plain and simple, I can't imagine, Trevor, like our weekends before Chiefs games not doing this.
Yeah.
Like there's been like a few weeks here and there we don't do a show and it feels wrong because I'm like, man, I wonder what they're talking about. I wonder what their takes are. Like I'm always thinking about what you guys are like wanting to say. It isn't so much of like I want to tell them this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's more like, man, I wonder like if this person has this thought or like I'm always thinking about that. So, needless to say, man, like I hope you guys really do it. We don't bullshit here. Like we really do love it that you guys are a part of this. There could be 100 of you. There could be 5 of you. I don't care. The fact that anybody cares enough to hang out with us is the coolest thing in the world. I know we have strong, brash, sometimes funny opinions, but it's the truth, man. We are genuinely who we are on this show at all times. We're not putting on a show for you. It's just a show for all of us. And 300 freaking episodes. I'm proud as hell of this. I am, dude. Like, I'm gonna say that right now. And I don't say that arrogantly. I say that proudly.
That's
like,
a lot of weeks.
A lot of time that we put into this thing, and then a lot of different like chapters. Like we've worked with different networks. We've had different people on the show. We've had hundreds of different guests. We've had bad experiences, great experiences with technical issues, and mostly bad ones. But the point is, man, we've had so much to talk about. We've had so many great people that's helped us lift this thing off the ground, and you guys are the top ones, man. Like literally, I know some of you have been around since the beginning.
Yeah.
Some of you guys, came around later on, or this might be your first show. Regardless, man, you guys all play such an important role to keep this thing going, and we appreciate Starcade Media, man, for giving us a platform on their platform. They have a huge ass following. Guys, just this Tuesday, I was talking to Joe Theismann. I'm sitting here having a conversation with one of the true greats of this league that we love so much. I don't get that opportunity if it wasn't for Clinton Noah.
Yeah.
So I appreciate what they do for us, man. Like giving us this opportunity to be on this with them. I mean, yeah, we put in the legwork and stuff to give content to them, but man, they give us these opportunities to have great conversation with people that we've idolized our whole lives. So shout out to Starcade, man. We have some great content there. Shaggy Shane and what he does on his post-game show, dude. I love Shaggy Shane's passion for this team. No one loves this team more than Shaggy Shane. Shit, the Hunts don't love this team more than Shaggy Shane. He's been one of my best friends for many years. This dude is one of our biggest fans on the show. He's been on the show 1,000,000 times. He'll be on 1,000,000 more times. Follow him, guys, after the Chiefs postgame show. After today, when the game's over, go right to him on Starcade. You can't miss it. He does an incredible job, man. No one's better suited for postgame shows than Shaggy Shane.
Yeah.
He is the best at it. He is so good at
the
breaking
good and
shit
the
down.
bad.
Yes. He is such yeah, dude. You guys know Shaggy. He's the greatest ever, man. But like I said, and one more thing, Trevor, before I cook, man, all the other content creators that are out there that make this community great, you guys, I mean, there's so many good shows. There's like, I was on the phone for an hour with Marcus and Tasia Dash last night from Chief Concerns. Those are some of my best friends.
Shout out to the Dash.
We've never even met in person.
Yeah.
I've never even met Marcus in real life, and he's one of my best friends. JD, one of the greatest humans I know. Jason Dunn, former Chief Concerns. One of the greatest humans I know. We have some great people in this community. You guys met Kyle from All Chief, or I'm sorry, Kingdom Says. Stephen Williams was on the show earlier. Yeah. All chiefed up. How about those Chiefs? There's some really great fucking people out there,
it's
man.
It's a good time to be in this
them.
city, and this city is thriving with content for sure.
Yeah. And the fact I get to do this show with my brother, like how many people? There's so many of you guys probably are only children.
I put up with this guy every week for you guys.
Can you imagine the shit? Yeah.
I mean, think about that.
Imagine looking at this every week across the table, having to sit here for 2.5, 3 hours. That would be fucking horrible. I don't know how he does it, but dude, the fact I get to do this with my brother, like this is so cool. Like the Kelces, I feel like we're all simpatico because they get that same thing. How awesome that has to be.
Yeah.
We know what it's like. Like we know it's fucking awesome. Because what Trevor and I talk about off the show, we talk about on here. So you guys are like, it's like you guys are literally a part of the family.
Well,
when you
a
guys
lot of times we don't even get to see each other throughout the week because our schedules are so different. So like when we're on the show, this is kind of us having our conversation.
Catching up.
Yeah.
So you guys are literally catching up with Trevor and I. Yeah. Like we're literally talking about stuff for the first time sometimes in the week.
Yeah.
On the show with you guys. So you're getting exclusive content, man. Like there's no rehearsals. I don't ever send Trevor text like, all right, dude, this is what I'm going to say. And then you're going to say that. And then I'm going to say, no, nothing.
We don't script shit.
Straight off the cuff, boys and girls. And that's how we like it. That's how we're going to keep it. And we, like I said, what motivates us the most is the fun we have with you guys. So long-winded as fuck. I know that, but it's the 300th episode. So I hope you understand why I'm saying it. We've had laughs, tears, everything on this show.
300 more, baby.
Let's do 300 more, man. Are you guys? I mean, I hope you guys are cool with that because we want you to be a part of every single one of them. So if you guys would be so kind, man, go to YouTube with us today. Subscribe right there. Get in the chat on YouTube because that's where, like I said, we're really trying to bust hump on that side of things. It would help us so much, guys. Because we want to do so much more with this show. We want to branch off, have like side shows, side projects. The only way we're going to do that, man, is if we start making some real headway in some of these areas. And I think YouTube's the best way of doing that because YouTube is the mecca. Let's be real, man. And all forms of entertainment now, if we're being real, it all starts with YouTube. That's where everybody's at. So we're really trying to, like I said, get out there. So tell your friends about us. Let them know. And more than anything, enjoy this game today, guys. Enjoy this postseason run because we are living in the fucking golden age of Chiefs football. I was thinking about that last night, Trevor. I'm like, man, you remember, dude, like we were just like happy to get 10 wins?
Bro.
We're just happy to just be a good team because we might get mentioned on SportsCenter. Do you remember those days?
Yeah.
Oh, guys, show the Chiefs. Like we would lose our minds.
Oh, the screwback
on
TV.
Oh my god. Oh fuck. Like they're talking Chiefs. Yeah. Now it's like, oh yeah, that was Patrick's 5th commercial today. And I don't even think nothing of it anymore. How wild is that?
Now the whole world hates us.
Yeah.
We're that team.
I love that we're the Patriots of today, dude.
It is still wild to sit and think about, man.
Bro, like remember when we used to hate the Patriots?
Yeah.
And like think about, man, all we hear about them is them. Now we're those guys. I'm like, I get where the Patriots fans come from now. I understand them now. I get what it's like to be at the top of the mountain.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, without, yeah. And
there was more reasons to hate the Patriots than there are reasons to hate us.
Absolutely, dude. The only reason, and I love the fact, the only reason you can hate the Chiefs is because they keep winning. There's no cheating scandals.
Yeah.
Andy Reid ain't a piece of shit curmudgeon.
Right.
You know what I mean? Patrick Mahomes doesn't have 17 face surgeries. Like, we have a team of authenticity that just keeps winning. I love it.
It's annoying because Pat's so likable. That's what makes it that much more frustrating. Because how can you actually hate Pat?
That's what I'm saying.
Come on, bro.
It's the best thing in the world, man. So, love you guys so much, man. I mean that. I know that people say that word loosely, but I genuinely mean I love you guys. If you ever see me in person, I'm going to give you a big fucking hug. I might even give you a smooch.
Oof.
But I'm warning you now because I don't want to get canceled. I don't want to just throw that on you. We got to maybe have a little bit of a consensual warning on that. But Trevor, I'm gonna definitely hug the shit out of some of these people, dude.
Yeah.
And that's how it's gonna be, man. So I love you guys to death. I know Trevor feels the same way. Trevor, you have any parting words you want to say, man?
Not really, bro. Like you said it all, man. I was kind of just bouncing off you a little bit too. But yeah, I mean, it's fun to sit here on the other side of the show and because I'm the one that kind of manages the comments and looks at a lot of things that are coming in as they come in, and it's just fun to read you guys' input and. Some I like, some I don't like, some I agree with, some I don't agree with, but it's all fun banter nonetheless, man. And it definitely helps. It's a good way to start my Saturday for sure.
Fuck
so
yeah.
I appreciate you guys, man. It's been a fun road, a fun journey getting to 300 episodes. So I'm looking forward to the next 300 for sure. See where we're at when we get to 600.
These comments, man, you guys you're not gonna make me cry. God damn it, you're not. It's not gonna happen. No, I'm reading some of these comments. They're fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
You guys are the best, man.
You guys be real pissed when you find out we're just AI. That's you guys gonna be so upset.
We glitch up one day. Oh, fuck, it's Milli Vanilli all over again. But no, man, we like I said, that we can't say it enough to not get too goddamn sappy. But
Yeah.
it's going to be a fun day, guys. You enjoyed the 300 episode here at the Spoken, and we're going to go right into a Chiefs victory in the divisional round against the Houston Texans. Man, we're so stoked to keep talking football with you guys. I hope you guys are ready, man, because next Saturday we're going to be right back here doing what we do, man, every single week. You guys know how it goes, man. Really excited for this thing. So with that said, for the great Trevor Twidwell, for the great Clay Windler that puts everything in the back end of things in the Red Tribe Cinema area of stuff, for the entire Starcade Media family, I am Lance Twidwell. The Spoken Podcast, episode 300 is done, finished, and finito. And until we're back here in 1 week's time, talking about the Chiefs facing either the Ravens or the Bills and the AFC Championship, we out of this bitch.
Later. Bro, we had almost